relatability and yet difference that all of these locations can take. So for example, in the real world, you have jazz bars, you have Korean barbecues, you have all of these different types of location. So each one of these had to have a different type of vibe. Here in Akiva, it's a tropical tiki bar. So that's the vibe that we were going for there.
Sounds great, and it's obviously a great place to meet up with these crime syndicates and get some jobs. How do they make an impact on the game?
So, of course, this is a game about the underworld of Star Wars. And there are 4 main syndicates. There's maybe more, but there are 4 main syndicates that you'll be dealing with. The Pikes, the Hutts, the Ashiga clan that we created with Lucasfilm Games, and the Crimson Dawn. And you, as an outlaw, are going to be able to work on your reputation with each one of those. Doing jobs for some, betraying others, and building your profile accordingly. So very, very involved in your personal story throughout this adventure.
That's incredible. So they will form a general structure that Kay can live out this story in, but how much agency do players have to maybe go off the beaten path, maybe take Kay down some slightly darker routes, or playing the good guy a bit?
100% up to you. So for example, here, this is the first time we ever show this quest. And it's a quest where you've landed in Akiva, your main focus is to go pick up a droid smith. A droid smith that you need to pull off this heist that we've been talking about. 157 million credits, that's a lot of credits.
Not bad, yeah.
And to do that, you're going to have to upgrade your equipment, which we're doing there. We're making sure that your loadout is the right one. You jump on your speeder, and you'll be able to be distracted by curiosity on the way. So you're speeding off, you're on the way. It's quite a journey, and on that journey, you're going to be able to do jumps, tricks.
Nice.
The bike is based on a motocross, so it feels visceral as well.
Right.
And you'll be able to come across different things. Like here we have an Imperial shuttle landing. Do you go and mingle with those people? Do you mess around with the Empire at this point? Or do you save it for a little bit later on? Because guess what? That droid smith, he's going to be located in an Imperial compound.
Oh, just our luck. Just our luck. Well, how well equipped can the player be to tackle? That's not a compound, that's a fortress. I mean, what does Kay bring to the table to be able to deal with these kind of scenarios?
Well, she's got to have the equipment to be able to do that. And that starts off with things like your binoculars to be able to scope the different opportunities. There's not just one way in, there are several ways in. The surest way to meet a very certain end is to go in guns blazing. Because this is the Empire we're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a massive force in front of you. We're going to go stealth.
Okay.
And binoculars, one thing. Blaster, another. Nyx, incredibly important. Let's just have a taste of how Kay uses Nyx.
Okay.
She's going to be sending me across and attacking, clawing the hell out of that stormtrooper.
I feel bad for the guy.
You shouldn't. He's there. He's built for this.
Okay, true.
You take out the second stormtrooper, and now you have to hack through that laser barrier to be able to get into the gooey good stuff in the middle of that fortress.
So there's quite a few different ways of engaging in a mission like this.
Absolutely.
What would happen if we did go in all blasters blazing? Would it be a big problem for us on this particular mission?
This is an Empire compound, so that's going to be a real problem.
Okay. I'll take your advice on
One of the conditions is that you don't set off the alarm, because if the alarm sets off, you're going to shut down that compound.
Fair enough.
You may revisit the compound later on to be able to steal more stuff and to really find all of the treasures. And there, you can do it the way you want. But ATSTs, guarding the door, you've got a blaster and Nyx. Do you really want to put yourself in that sort of situation?
I could take my chances, honestly. Earlier on, though, we did see with Kay's using her blaster now, but before that, she was working on it a bit on her workbench.
Yes.
Inside the Trailblazer. What is that all about? Is that like upgrading? Or?
Yeah, that's absolutely upgrading your weapon.
Okay.
Because we want this to be about a resourceful underdog. And a resourceful underdog, they have one main tool that you can upgrade. You can have a charge blast, which is like a rocket launcher.
What?
And, plasma, which is the regular blaster,
Right.
with speed mode to it, so it feels like an automatic weapon. And you have one function, which is the shock function, which we'll see a little bit later on.
Nice. I love the way that she even moves around. Like you mentioned before, Scoundrel archetype's one of your favorites, but the movements of Kay, the mannerisms, the swagger really communicates that so well.
It's something that we worked on Division 2.
Right.
And those are trained military agents,
Yeah.
civilian agents, but with military training. Here we wanted a resourceful underdog, so you have to have that different movement. But all of those mannerisms and that sort of swagger that you see
Yeah.
there, that's Umberly, who brought that to the character, and she'll be able to tell you all about it.
Okay, great. I'll make sure to. One thing that I want to point out as well, we did just talk about the blaster a little bit. We're getting to see some of the action over there. Nice shot, by the way. The sound of it, too. I mean, in Star Wars, there are so many sounds that are iconic. Players, when we listen to them, it makes the hair on our
If you
arms stand
close
up.
your eyes and think TIE Fighter,
Yeah, TIE Fighter, I'm thinking like the seismic charge.
Yep.
Oh, man, yeah. But Kay's blaster also has a really satisfying punch to it. So tell me about the process for making sure that you're designing your weapons sound-wise, the feel of it, the look of it, make sure it's authentically Star Wars, but also brand new, something that you've created.
we have to get inspiration from the past, get inspiration from the original trilogy, because this adventure happens in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Right.
So we had access to all of those things. And then the pleasure is looking at that, working with that, and coming up with something that sounds new and that become its own sound. And that extends from the sound design to, the music of the piece, which I think is remarkable. We
Yeah,
heard it
gorgeous.
in the trailer. It's fantastic.
Anytime I hear the horns, honestly, I'm goosebumps. It's crazy. So we finally find our droid smith here then, I guess.
Yeah, who's not particularly happy to see you. So I'm not going to spoil the story, but the droidsmith, Gadik, has a past with you.
Okay.
And he's ended up working with the Empire, so he's made some really bad
Oh
decisions.
dear, yeah. It's not great. I mean, he's already got a protocol droid firing a gun at us. I never thought I'd see that. But
I got a problem with a gatekeeper droid.
now that's caught his interest.
That's caught his interest.
Interesting.
There's a real challenge. There's a real opportunity. It's not motivated by the credits, but tinkering around with some new tech.
I like
That's
it.
what catches his eye.
I could get on with this guy. But the problem is, once we extract Gadik, we have to get out as well, right?
And that's where the blaster comes into its full use.
Nice.
So this is going to be part of one of those main quests. It's a linear quest, and there's a whole path where you explode into the combats, and you use all of the tools at your disposal.
Right.
Before we edited a little segment, which was a puzzle room.
Right,
We didn't
yeah.
want to spoil the puzzle. We didn't want to spoil the traversal. We wanted to focus on the real action of this
Yeah.
piece.
Great. And now we're getting some serious combat because there was no chance to sneak there. Everybody's just
That's
whipped
it.
over and saw us immediately.
Let's just escape.
But this is where Kay sort of comes into her own, because scoundrels, they love to improvise. They're good under pressure, and so I guess you're encouraging players to make sure they look around them, identify bits that are useful, send
Absolutely.
nicks out, play around with it a bit.
All of those tools, you've got an adrenaline shot. If you recognize that, it allows you to slow time, pick your targets, and it's an automatic kill.
Nice. That's a bit more of a problem though.
This guy's got a shield, and one of your modules will be able to disable that shield, opening
Great.
them up for the deadly shot.
Absolutely stunning.
And that's it. You grapple hook out and
we're
escape the
clear.
base.
You make it seem so easy. I'm gonna try it, and it's not gonna be that.
I
easy.
wish I was playing this one. There's a whole team, and they've done an amazing job at capturing this one.
Yeah, I mean, right at the end there, we also got a little sizzle, a little taster of the rest of what's to come in the game. And one thing in particular I spotted there was some sabak happening as well.
Yep,
So
Sabak.
you got to tell me about that because I love it.
Sabak is a big part of the scoundrel lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create our own rules, which gave us this depth of play and being able to collect special cards that change the rules of the game while you go along. So there'll be tournaments, there'll be high stakes games, there'll be
Nice.
a lot of credits to win as well.
Great. Well, I'll have to get practicing on that, definitely. But so I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. This has been incredibly insightful. Cannot wait to play the game, and it's not too long until launch. So
No,
buckle
next
up.
week, next
Buckle
week.
up. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Julian. Next up, though, to celebrate the launch of Star Wars Outlaws, we decided to test some lucky fans on their Star Wars knowledge. Let's see how they got on.
Welcome to the home of Star Wars Outlaws here at the beautiful Xbox booth. And it's time for a massive giveaway. So we've rounded up some fans for a chance to win some very fabulous prizes. How will they earn this sweet loot, I hear you ask? Well, Star Wars trivia, of course. So here's how it's going to work. Each fan will be given a Star Wars Outlaws trivia question, and if they answer correctly, they will win a beautiful Nyx plushie. Isn't it adorable? Wow. Then they will be given a more difficult Star Wars Outlaws question. And if they answer that one correctly, they will win one of these custom Xbox Design Lab Elite Series 2 controllers and be entered to win one of our grand prize Star Wars Outlaws Xbox Series X and S consoles. Are you ready? Let's go. I'm here with the lovely
Citron.
And where are you from, Citron?
I'm from Cologne.
Amazing. Are you ready to win some prizes?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. First question. What is the name of the main character of Star Wars Outlaws?
It's Kay.
Yes! What's her last name?
Bess.
Yes, let's go! That's a Nyx plushie for you. Well done. That's yours. Something to color. Okay, are you ready for your next question? It's going to step up a little. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What is the name of Kay Vess's starship?
Oh God.
You can do this, Citron.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
The Falcon.
Oh, so close, but it's not correct. Well, we still got your Nyx plushie, so well done, though. Yay! You still get. Yay! Okay, I am here with
Jan,
Jan. Lovely to speak to you. And where are you from today?
I'm from Switzerland.
Stunning. Are you ready to win some Star Wars prizes? Yes. Let's go. Okay, question number 1. What is the name of Kay Vess's main companion?
The little guy called Nyx.
Yes, it is! And here he is now. Congrats! Way! Good. Okay, are you ready to step up a level now?
Yes.
Okay. And how can Nyx help Kay in battle in the game?
So he can attack people and pull levers and stuff.
That sounds good to me. I think that's correct. Let's go. GG's. Well done. The Star Wars controller is yours. I am here with
Marcel,
Marcel. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Are you ready to win some Star Wars prizes?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. First question. What's the launch date of Star Wars Outlaws?
It's the 30th of August.
Yes, it is. GG's. Woo! A Nyx for you. Let's go. Not long at all as well. Are you ready for your next one?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Between which 2 classic Star Wars movies do the events of Star Wars Outlaws take place?
The Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi.
Let's go! Well done, Marcel! You win the controller. A true Star Wars fan. GG's. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm now here with
Ilya.
Ilga. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Fine.
Awesome. Let's win some Star Wars prizes together. You ready?
Yes, I am.
First question. What is the preferred weapon of Kay Vess?
It's a blaster.
Yes, it's a heavy blaster. Let's go. And next plushie for you. Well done. Are you ready to step it up a level?
Yes, of course.
Next question, a bit harder. Where did Kay grow up?
On Tatooine, but I have forgot the exact place.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was Cantonica and Canto Bite, but so close. Well done. Enjoy the next plushie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go. Woo. Yay. Woo. Okay, I'm now here with
Thomas.
Thomas. Lovely to chat to you. Are you ready to win some Star Wars prizes?
I hopefully do, yeah.
I believe in you. Okay, first question.
Yeah.
Who is the publisher of Star Wars Outlaws, the game?
It's Ubisoft.
Yes, it is! A next plushie for you! Woo! Let's go! Okay, next question, a little bit harder now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying.
What type of droid is ND5? K's pal ND5. What kind of droid?
It must be a PX Commander.
Yes, it is! BS Commando droid! Yes!
Thank you.
Jeez. Well, that's it for us here at Trivia Gamescom. But if you think you can do a little bit better, you too can enter for a chance to win a custom Star Wars Outlaws Xbox Series X with a controller stand or an Xbox Series S. All you need to do is head over to twitch.tv/Xbox and follow the prompts in chat to enter this question. What species is Nyx? Good luck. Remember to answer in chat. And now is over to Henry with one of the beautiful voices from Star Wars Outlaws. Woo!
Hey, they did pretty good. But joining me now is Kay Vess herself, Ridley Gonzalez. How you doing?
Happy to be here. Exciting.
They did pretty good on the quiz.
They did. I was answering along with them.
Yeah, you got them all right, obviously.
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 Nyx did too.
He's got his drink. He's happy.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's perfect. Great. Now, I'm the sort of person that loves to know a Star Wars fan in particular. So before we get into talking how you're actually in the game, break down for me, what was your first what was your Star Wars awakening? How did that come about?
Well, I grew up in Venezuela, so it was all in Spanish, and it was Guerra de las Galaxias. So, that's something I love about Star Wars, is that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, what language you speak, where in the world you are, you all have a Star Wars story, and mine just happened to be on the other side of, South America. So it's exciting, when I got to share about it with my family and friends. I got to relate to it in my language, in my culture.
What was their reaction when they first found out that, by the way, I'm actually going to be in it now?
Unreal. I mean, there was a lot of questions. I think my family also, especially my parents, they started watching all of the movies, especially when I shared that it was in the original trilogy between Empire and, Return of the Jedi. So I did too. I think I blasted the Star Wars theme song, and I watched the movies, and anytime I see anything Star Wars, I just have this Star Wars.
That's part of it.
I'm like,
yeah, that's us. In terms of Kay and playing the role of a scoundrel, where did you have to go for that? What did you have to reach into to sort of conjure up this character?
I mean, obviously, we've seen scoundrels in this timeline, like the likes of Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, but they're so confident. They have the expertise. They know what they're doing because they're out there in the galaxy. Unlike Kay, she's a rookie. She's not an expert scoundrel, but she's a survivalist, and her and Nyx, survive off of odd jobs and Canto Bay, and they're dreaming of more. I love the attitude, the charm, the witty banter, the swagger that they have. And, those characters were obviously inspiration, but I got to try to bring my own heart to it. Kay Vess has flaws. She's imperfect. She has a vulnerability that I feel I brought to the role even from the first tape that I sent in back in 2022, So that's something, it's a collaboration from the whole team.
Well, the whole team's really important to it, because when you're playing through it and you even hear the banter between Kay and ND5, and you're like, God, I really am a Kay Vess. This is so relatable.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah. What's it like working with a wider team then on building a new cast of characters to put into a franchise like Star Wars? Did you have to work together too much, or?
Absolutely. I mean, when you walk into a franchise that's already established, I guess you understand so much of it, the tone, just kind of the general vibe of what we're making. But because it's motion capture, you require so much aid in visualizing what the world is going to look like. I don't have the luxury of relying on sets and costumes and hair and makeup. I mean, we're in the mocap studio in these cat suits, wetsuits with these markers. We're in a volume surrounded by hundreds of infrared cameras that are capturing our every movement. It's a lot more intentional. You have to have this awareness of your body and your instrument. And you rely so much on the director, the writer, the storyboards. Sometimes they say, okay, we're about to do this kind of scene. So they pull up, inspiration from the TV shows, from movies that have previously been done to capture just the air of what we're trying to make, because we have to create it in our mind's eye.
So that must be a completely different way of bringing characters to life compared to like film or television, which you have done before. And
Yeah.
you have worked in games before, but this is clearly the most involved project that you've ever been on, right?
From top to bottom. I mean, I'm there every day in almost every scene. I've recorded over like 11,400 lines for the game. So I hope you enjoy my voice. You're going to hear a lot of it. It's expansive, you know, and it takes years to create it. They've been working on it for a couple years before I jumped on back in 2022. So it's a long process. It's an incredible journey. I truly have grown alongside KVS. So even though I've done video games before, leading a game requires a lot more responsibility, but I was ready for it.
Totally. I can't wait to play the game, honestly. It just looks absolutely incredible. Surely they had a real-life Nyx, at least, to help with that.
Obviously, we had him on set.
Yeah, of course. The inspiration's there. Well, unbelievable. Thanks so much for joining me. I cannot wait to play the game. It's not too long till it launches either, so
I know.
you're going to get to see how other people react. It's hitting people on August 30th. I'm going to get my Sabak face ready for it so that I'm good to go.
Keep your cards close.
Very close.
You can use Nyx to cheat, but don't tell anyone.
He's great for that, right? Well,
Yeah.
I'll let you enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
But coming up, we celebrate 20 years of World of Warcraft with the new War Within expansion. We're going to find out what fans can expect from the latest Elder Scrolls Online update. And next up, we're catching up with the team from 2 Point Studios on their latest title, 2 Points Museum. But first, the die has been cast, and that is only the beginning. Check out the new expansion coming to Lost in Random.
The Queen enters the board.
What in random? We're not dead, Fortune.
A dice wielder. Oh, luck has finally turned.
Anyway, will you have him? Let's make this one count.
Come here, girl, and accept your punishment.
Greetings from the amazing CSUN Games, developers of the upcoming cross-platform online multiplayer game Mecha Break, launching in 2025. Let's showcase some gameplay through Mecha Break's core mode, 6 vs 6 squad missions. We'll demo the Eye of Mizra map, where the goal is to earn points by capturing and uploading launch keys. The striker we're featuring is Falcon, a lightweight mech that excels in aerial combat. Players can maneuver during their dive into the fight, controlling their landing spot at the match's start to open strategic options that can turn the tide of battle. For example, Falcon excels in aerial strikes and reconnaissance. Pilots must be agile, coordinating hit-and-run tactics with teammates while staying under the radar. We've refined combat to ensure it feels satisfying both in the air and on the ground, with each mech having unique attributes distinct from other shooters. Each striker has unique speeds, inertia handling, and specialized combat capabilities for seamless transitions between aerial and ground attacks. When implementing that, our main challenge was balancing air and ground mechs, given the varying visibility, traversal paths, and cover types across our maps. We address this by carefully assessing each mech's strengths and weaknesses in multiple scenarios. On the Mercury Shipyards map, the goal is to move a payload to the finish line. Seizing checkpoints along the way speeds up the payload. Brace yourself to face threats from both the air and ground with your squad. Showcasing another striker, Tricera. Wielding dueling Gatling guns, Tricera is a ground-based striker that often serves as the tank for a team, boosting efficiency when pushing the payload. Tricera's Fortress Work features an anti-missile system that uniquely protects the payload or control points. Another powerful ground striker is Stego. When transformed, Stego specializes in long-range fire support as an ultra-heavy striker armed with the big guns. On the Prob Sinkhole map, the goal is to collect mining data by capturing data nodes, making teamwork and strategy essential. Panther is a brawler equipped with a powerful lance and shield booster kit. Panther's devastating charged attacks and defense capabilities make it a fearsome opponent in close combat. But Panther isn't the only brawler in Mecha Break. Be prepared to face Alias and Welcome, two melee machines with unique abilities that can take out enemies both at a distance and up close. The brawlers have unique finishing moves that keep the action intense. Sky Raider is a powerful and swift air attacker that can transform into a bomber to rain fire on enemy forces. The elegant yet lethal Narukami rules the battlefield with pinpoint sniping and advanced optical camouflage, making it almost impossible to capture the stun. We invite you to join us on this exciting journey with Mecha Break. Stay tuned for its commercial release in 2025.
Welcome, esteemed guests, to 2 Point Museum's Coastal Deep Dive. The Marine Life Museum in 2 Point County is, just as you'd expect, situated along the coast and boasts a treasure trove of wetlandian exhibits. Or at least it will do once you've hired some experts and sent them on perilous expeditions to unearth rare, but sometimes soggy, sunken treasures. Discovering and maintaining the happiness of aquatic life is also a big attraction of the Marine Life Museum. And fish have a surprising number of requirements to meet if they're to stay happy and, swimming. Guests will be wowed by the remnants of Wetlantis, and the more impressed they are, the more they will donate. The more donations means more funds to keep your facilities clean, everything nicely decorated, and vending machines well stocked. Once you uncover the Marine Life Museum, you can then hire Wetlandian experts in all your other museum locations. From there, you can grow your aquatic collection throughout your 2 Point Museum empire. Thank you for attending this Coastal Deep Dive.
If you've ever dreamed of running your own museum or just really enjoy the 2 Point series of games, then listen up, because our next guests have the game for you. And me, here to tell us all about 2 Point Museum, please welcome 2 Point Studios Design Director Ben Huskins and Executive Producer Joe Kurla. Welcome to Gamescom, to Cologne.
It's great to be here.
Great to be here. How is Germany treating you?
Oh, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's
The weather
such a
is
great.
good?
The atmosphere is incredible.
Yeah. It is.
A little bit too warm, but that's okay.
That's okay. And the halls are cooled, so everything okay. And today is the first consumer day, so we're really excited to have you here. So, 2 Point has taken on education with campus, on medicine with hospitals. So now, Ben, how did you come up with the idea, the theme of museum, and why should fans be excited about this game?
Yeah, well, the thing that's great about museums is that they have these amazing collections of completely unique exhibits. And as soon as we started talking about museum as an idea, we got really excited about what if we let players build up their own unique collections of exhibits. And that got us thinking about, well, like, how do the players get these exhibits? They can, they can send their experts off on expeditions around the county. They can basically explore and discover. We really love this idea of getting across this sense of exploration and discovery and anticipation about what might come back when your team comes back from an expedition. And this just got us really excited about, getting these exhibits, and then of course once you've got them, putting them on display in your museums, and actually that whole side of it as a museum manager, you deciding how you lay things out, and you deciding where do you put your most impressive exhibits, where do you want to channel your guests through the museum, and how do you give them the best possible experience?
I've got some ideas, but I've also saw in the trailer that you welcome families. I saw a lot of little children climbing on very precious exhibitions. So what do we need to look out for when we're welcoming those visitors?
So we were really excited to introduce children to 2 Point County, and I think it's just felt like such a natural fitting, a natural place for them to be. And with children, we've introduced family groups, we've introduced school trips, and all sorts of, they're kind of like little agents of chaos, and they make a right mess of the museum, don't they? But we've also introduced a lot of other character types, like the professor, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So he likes knowledge, doesn't he?
Yeah. So when professors come in, you need to focus a bit more on education, because they're going to donate money based on how much they learn about all of your exhibits. And then if you've got frozen items, you'll get
the Yetis. I love them. I love the frozen exhibits particularly. So you also have to maintain your exhibits. So with frozen items, you need to have your freezer cooler, and then you'll get Yetis come to visit.
So if I have all these visitors, how do I keep them happy throughout the game?
So I particularly love decorating. So for me, I keep my visitors happy by making a beautiful museum. So I looking for customization options, the lighting, decorative items, and try and make a really incredible space for them to enjoy.
Yeah, Joe's museums are usually a work of art, whereas my museums, I guess my philosophy is more, fill their minds with wonder, empty their wallets. That's nice. More my approach.
Yeah, that's straight on.
my museums tend to end up being a bit of a hellish labyrinth where visitors have to go through about 5 different gift shops before they can escape the museum. Don't get me wrong, they still have a good time, they just leave with no money.
So in another world, you would be managing a theme park also.
Well, exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. So is each museum restricted to one exhibit type?
So you can actually put any exhibit in any museum. So we designed the game like this because we wanted the players to really have freedom to build and design the museum however they wanted to.
And I saw definitely something new, which are unique fish in the game. So can you tell me more about the creation of these artsy creatures and how we can enjoy the fruits of that labor?
So we had lots of fun coming up with the ideas for the fish. I think with the exhibits in our game, sometimes we kind of pull on pop culture references, sometimes it's an idea for an animation, a joke or a pun, but with the fish, we kind of leaned quite heavily on real life reference, but then tried to inject 2 Point humour and charm into it. So, like for example, we've got the pufferfish. He's my personal favourite. He's very cute, he's got goofy eyes, puffy cheeks, and you can actually get him as a plushie in the gift shop, which is super cute. We've got the clownfish, he's small, he's got a red nose, so that's quite on the nose. We've also got the bull shark, who's kind of scary looking. He's a shark with a bull ring, and you actually have to keep him separate, or I do, because he does eat the little fish.
Okay, so talking about fish, let's talk about fish romance. I always wanted to say that on an Xbox broadcast. No, but seriously, how do we keep the fish population healthy?
Yeah, so I mean, the whole aquarium management feature as a whole, there's quite a lot of depth to it, really, because there's all these different types of fish, and they all behave in different ways, and they all have different characteristics. And you're having to think about, do I have enough filters in the aquarium to keep them going? Do I have the right types of food for the different fish that I've got in there? Is the aquarium the right temperature for them? Because all the fish have different needs, different requirements. So there's quite a lot of depth to it. The aquarium management as a whole, it's almost a game in itself. And so, yeah, you're having to think about how do I keep them healthy, because, you can even name your individual fish and get quite attached. It's Clive the fish. That's my favourite fish.
Don't get me attached, please not.
Yeah, and then, while you're nurturing them, you know, if you give them a nice little secluded area to hang out with, then maybe fish romance will blossom, and maybe you'll get, you know, nice little baby fish.
Okay.
Exactly.
Just one follow-up question. The name of my fish is called Bartholomew. If I want to know what he needs as food, what he really likes, where do I find it? Like, is there a fish tab or?
Oh yeah.
Ah, okay.
There's lots of info. Yeah.
Lots of information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. And then how do you actually level up the whole museum?
Right, yeah, so as you begin to expand your museum, you're going to want to go on more expeditions to find a wider variety of exhibits to have in your museum. And of course, as you get more to add to your collection, you're having to think about where should I put them relative to the things that I've already got? How's it affecting my layout? Maybe I need to reorganize my whole museum layout. And as you get more things, the visitors will want to stay for longer in your museums. You're going to need to put down, you know, cafes and you know, other facilities to keep them happy. Otherwise, the kids will get bored and then they'll leave, and the parents will be really angry. And so yeah, you need to build up your collection of exhibits. And just keep those guests staying as long as possible. And the thing we were really keen to do with museum is what we found is people get quite attached to their museums over time, because as you build up that collection, and you're having to look after them, right? Because you don't want your fish to die.
Bartholomew. Yeah.
You don't want your frozen caveman in ice to melt, because that'll ruin it. Then you get quite attached to your museum, and you know, all of the hours you've spent noodling around laying things out. And so what we do is we keep giving you reasons to come back to each museum, which is great, because I think you do really feel like it's become your own thing.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming. And everybody who is here at Gamescom can play the game, actually, either at the Xbox booth or at the Sega booth, which is in the same hall, Hall 7. I love that we're neighbors. But then last but not least, I think you can wishlist it at home as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, to the newest chapter in the Life is Strange saga and the supernatural murder mystery it revolves around. Check out what you can expect from Max Caulfield and the gang in this new gameplay walkthrough.
Max Caulfield, the girl who could rewind time, is back.
Let's thrash, Chakra.
But when one of her new friends, Safi Llewellyn Fayyad, is murdered in the grounds of Caledon University, Max finds that her chaotic power has changed. Now, Max must shift back and forth to reveal the truth of her friend's murder, in an attempt to save Safi before it's too late. Once Max's new power manifests, she can send a pulse out from her fingertips at any time. While Pulse is active, she can peer through to the other world, seeing the differences between the timelines clearly. People and objects in the other timeline appear as dimensional echoes, allowing Max to avoid watchful eyes when shifting.
Good thing I can keep an eye on Alderman from here. Wouldn't want to show up right in front of him.
What the hell?
While Pulse shimmers around her, she can also see places where the veil between the two timelines is at its thinnest. These shift points are where she can push through to the opposite timeline to help her investigation in a multitude of ways.
Oh. Do you need me to hold something, or?
Actually, yeah. I need an Allen wrench.
Got one around here?
No, I borrowed one from Carla, but I think she took it back. If you can go grab that from her, I'll owe you.
This could be to solve a puzzle, convince a character to reveal a secret, or retrieve an object lost in one timeline by borrowing it from another.
Better give this wrench to Moses.
Shift points work in both directions, so you can shift back and forth from the same spot.
So I found this guy named Alan, but he didn't know anything about a wrench.
No, Max, not literally Alan. It's... Oh. You are a lifesaver, Max. Dad joke aside.
I'll never apologize for my dad jokes.
If you're worried about losing track of which timeline you're in, well, Max herself may get confused too.
Have you talked to Reggie since yesterday?
Reggie?
Crap! Wrong Loretta, Max.
In the options, you can toggle a UI indicator every time you shift, confirming the reality you've just arrived in. as well as there being visual cues such as cheery Christmas decor in the timeline where Safi is alive. Most importantly to Max's investigation, everyone you meet has an increasingly divergent duplicate in the other timeline. Depending on which timeline you're in, they'll react to Max and her probing questions very differently. A grief-sodden conversation in one timeline may unlock an unexpected heart-to-heart in the other.
Grief is hard. The trick is not to let it change your character.
Everyone at Caledon is hiding something, and Max is the only one with a viewpoint unique enough to unravel those secrets, and the determination to reach the truth at all costs.
Everybody's talking about her like she had a heart attack or a car accident. But she was murdered. Someone murdered her. I don't know how we're expected to just be okay with that.
Max has never been so powerful or in so much danger. The fates of her friends and of two timelines are at Max's fingertips.
World of Warcraft has had a massive impact on the gaming world, as well as myself, since it launched nearly 2 decades ago. And here to give us a glimpse into their plans for the latest expansion, The War Within, the 3-part World Soul Saga, and the next 20 years of World of Warcraft, we have 2 excellent humans, and thankfully not orcs, sorry Horde, from the team at Blizzard. Please, Ian and Tina, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I am Tina Wong, Associate Art Director on The War Within. Super excited to be here and getting to chat with the Xbox community.
Hi, and I'm Ian Hazzikostas, Game Director on World of Warcraft. Really hyped to be here in Cologne at Gamescom, and excited to be part of the Microsoft family. Even though we're just a humble PC game, we've been welcomed into the Xbox fold, and it's wonderful.
No, I'm so excited for you guys to be here, especially as today is such a huge day for World of Warcraft. Can you tell us what's going on?
We got a little thing or two brewing. I think in something like 8 hours and 10 minutes, but who's counting? We're going to be launching early access of The War Within, to be followed a few days later by the global release.
No, I'm so excited for it. And to kind of get it hyped up at Gamescom on the booth over here, we have got one of the coolest experiences I think I've ever had at any gaming booth. It is the Escape from Dalaran, and as like a big WoW fan, it was incredible. Have you had a go?
Yeah, it's like, so this is a 4-minute VR experience. You're like, strapped in to this motorized device. You have air jets blowing in your face to simulate the air rushing by you. And you are soaring through Dalaran in the middle of a surprise attack launched by the forces of Xal'atath and the Nerubians that very much mirrors what players are going to experience at the start of the War Within in the days to come.
Yeah, and you did mention that this is the start of a brand new era for World of Warcraft. Can you tell us the new features and what we can expect with the War Within?
Yeah, so the War Within is our 10th expansion, and I'm biased, but it's going to be a banger. It's the beginning of the World Soul Saga, which is the greatest story we've ever tried to tell, and it's a story so big that we needed to make 3 expansions to tell it fully.
Insane.
And so the way this kicks off, champions and heroes around the world have been seeing these troubling visions, hearing things that sound like the world herself crying out for aid, crying out in pain. And as they investigate the source of this phenomenon, that journey leads them towards a land that is known as Khazalgar, a mysterious island off the coast of Kalimdor, where they may come under surprise attack and begin to see the face of their foe, and that is one Xal'atath. And so it starts out as a mystery, and that mystery will lead players into the underground of Azeroth, towards the heart of the world itself, into just fantastical environments, and it's just going to be an incredible adventure.
No, I can't wait. And Tino, I know you've got a load of brand new features that are going to be coming with the expansion. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, Ian mentioned the zones. One of the things that we really love about World of Warcraft is that the world is such like a main character of it, right? So one of the key things coming out is these zones, and they're definitely some of the most ambitious and unique that we've ever created for World of Warcraft. For instance, delving underground, that's a unique challenge. And so while we have zones that meet player expectations with like the ringing deeps, where we have ancient forges and lava and these beautiful caverns, we also have an incredible zone called Hallowfall, where we have this crystalline ceiling and the crystal that shifts from light to dark. And then our deepest zone, Azj-Kahet, this is where you will find Queen Ansarek herself, in partnership with Xal'atath, and you get to see the height of the Nerubian Empire.
Yeah, no, and also there's of course, one of the big things with World of Warcraft as well, dungeons. Can you tell us about a few of the new dungeons that we're going to have in the War Within?
Oh yeah, so one of the fun ones that you get to experience as part of the story is this one that's the rookery that you find on the Isle of Dorne. And so you get to experience part of the culture of Khazalgar and seeing these riders, these storm riders. So that one is super fun. And then in Hallowfall, another favorite would be one where you're actually on an airship. So you get to fly around, there's epic battles, and you see that glowing crystal just in the backdrop.
Is that crystal? Oh, sorry,
I was going to say, when we were setting out to build these underground environments, one of the challenges was making sure that it didn't feel claustrophobic, didn't feel oppressive. Like the zone of Hallowfall, it is so vast an underground space that the inhabitants need airships to traverse it. And so it's when you're down there, it's like you're in this underground world unto itself.
No, and it was really one of the really cool things, we were talking about it a little bit earlier on, was that the crystal changes, doesn't it, to impact the gameplay?
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited for. What other features do you have coming with the expansion as well?
Oh, so one of the things that we've built is Delves, which is a new feature for the expansion. And something that is a priority to us for Delves is that it really caters to a group of our audience that historically has been a little underserved by the end game progression loop that we have for those who maybe raid or do Mythic Plus. So these ones, they are outdoor world players, as we call it. We want them to feel like you're adventuring through the world and you come across just this mysterious location, whether you're diving into a sinkhole or seeing some tracks lead into a dark cave. We want you to be able to encounter these and still increase the difficulty level as you play so that you can progress your item level week to week.
So Delves are they're handcrafted experiences.
Yeah.
There are 13 locations around the zones of the War Within, and they're really meant to be a new alternative to dungeons, raids, and PvP as a new pillar of endgame progression. Whereas before, as Tina mentioned, if you're someone who's mostly a solo player, you have maybe 1 or 2 friends, you don't do the larger group content, you could, enjoy the story, you could quest, but at some point your journey would unfortunately feel like it came to a stopping point. And we want to make sure that all playstyles feel welcome and feel like they have progression. And that's something, as we think about the features that we're offering in our new expansion, a lot of it is about playing the game the way you want to play it, having that flexibility to, that caters to your playstyle. So like a couple of our other major features are warbands, which for once unifies the progression on most facets among your alts. So instead of having every character needing to earn reputation separately or their own currency, all of the characters in your account are now part of a warband. So the first thing you see when you log into World of Warcraft, the War Within, is going to be not just one character standing there stiffly, but multiple characters huddled around a campfire representing your band of adventurers that you're taking into Azeroth.
All that grinding, getting all your characters ranked up and leveled up, just seeing them all together would be amazing.
It's honestly quite sentimental to see them all hanging out.
I have to make sure I do all the transmogs all correctly and just make sure they all look great.
Exactly. And we've already seen people taking screenshots and sharing them of this is your lineup. And then we've reimagined the way flying and traversal work in World of Warcraft. There's a dynamic physics-based system called skywriting that's more than double the speed of what flying used to be back in the day. And so just getting from point A to point B should feel exciting. It should feel like an adventure, and that's what we're trying to offer.
I always used to love that. I still remember the first time Burning Crusade where I got my flying mount for the first time and I had 60% move speed, and I was like, I'll get there eventually. Just give me some time.
Yeah, these are more 600%.
Oh yeah, that's going to be way faster. Just do some tricks and blitz
just
across. A bit. Yeah, no, it's amazing. One of the other big things with World of Warcraft is there was a perception for older players and players that people have never played before. The War Within, you've kind of aimed to change that. Can you tell us a little bit more? What can players expect when they log in for the first time?
Yeah, really, it's features like what we've just been talking about. It's making sure that there is a deep solo experience if that's what you want. If you only have a little bit of time to spare, those delves take 15 to 20 minutes. Of course, if you want to, if you have hours on a weekend, there's an entire world to explore. We have hardcore raids to challenge, the boldest of adventurers and their friends as they coordinate to overcome these challenges. But I think, World of Warcraft is a game that can be played in so many different ways today to suit your, preferred content, play style, available time, and that's something that we really want to just keep doubling down on.
Yeah,
a lot of people when they think about World of Warcraft, they think, oh, it's too big, there's too much stuff to do, but really it's it's a world and that everyone can play the way that is fulfilling to them.
Yeah, and there's also opportunities just to hop straight into the new content as well. It's one of the things I've always liked. Our whole Xbox One team, when Classic came back out, we all hopped back in for one of those reasons.
Exactly, and I think as any WoW player knows, a new expansion is the perfect time to come back to WoW. I think the War Within in particular, because of the fact that, it's kicking off this brand new story arc, we've also revamped the new player experience, the level up experience from 10 to 70 that gets you to the War Within to be our latest expansion, Dragonflight.
Yeah.
So if you're coming back or you're coming in for the first time, you are playing the latest, newest content WoW has to offer, learning the ropes, and joining the rest of the world in the War Within.
No, I'm really excited. And also, World of Warcraft, I can't believe I'm saying this, is coming up to its 20th anniversary. What does that feel like being a part of the WoW team and for all the players?
It is humbling, truly. I've been playing the game for all 20 of those years. I've been on the development team for 16 years now. The large majority of my adult life has really been shaped and formed by this game, and it's an honor. And I think I'm so excited to celebrate that 20th anniversary coming up, but also kick off many, many years to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a long-time veteran in the game, playing since the beginning, playing since Warcraft 3, and been on the team 14 years now, and there are so many of these stories on the World of Warcraft team, and you can see that in what we put out there, just people putting their passion and their history with the game into everything that we make.
No, it's amazing. I personally love it. I can still remember growing up playing from the Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, and it's so exciting to hit that 20-year mark. But for players that are looking to get involved in World of Warcraft for the first time and become part of the community, what can they do right now?
Yeah, we're talking about an expansion, but the basic World of Warcraft experience, you can play for free in our starter edition. You can level up to 20. You can experience the start of Dragonflight. And, just go to worldofwarcraft.com, download Battle.net, install it, jump in and check it out.
No, I'd really recommend it. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's no surprise it's coming up to the 20-year anniversary. Do you have any final thoughts that you'd like to share with the fans?
It's just such an exciting moment, really. You know, I think coming up on 20 years, but also beginning this next step in our journey. The team has been working on War Within for years. We have so many years of content ahead that we have mapped out, that we have planned out. It's going to be this incredible journey narratively in terms of the world we're building, in terms of the features. And just we're excited to welcome everyone in to begin it with us, and buckle up, because it's going to be a heck of a ride.
Yeah, no, I honestly, thank you so much. I've got one also final question. Horde or Alliance?
Depends on my mood that day.
Safe answer, safe answer.
That is a safe. What about you, Tuna?
My mood is more often Horde.
Horde.
Put it that way.
It's shifted over time. Currently, I'm more playing Alliance.
See, that's what I like. Always the Alliance. I've been Alliance since day one. Right, and I will stick to that with the War Within. But honestly, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it, you taking us through the War Within. But here, also, just a pro tip to avoid your own War Within. Please check out World of Warcraft, the War Within expansion, when it launches August 26th. Also, coming up, we'll give you a tour of the Xbox booth right here at Gamescom. Check out what studios have in store for fans here. And also, we celebrate a decade of Elder Scrolls Online with a look at the latest chapter, Gold Road. We also unveil the real name of Project Birdseye, but first, it's time for a cinematic horror experience. This is the casting of Frank Stone.
This place is like super duper creep town, right?
Everything's still so fuzzy about what happened, but there's one thing that always just stuck in my mind.
Sorry! I can't! Hold on! I'm coming!
This is right where my dad came face to face with Frank Stone.
I think you're starting to see what we're up against.
Your call, Chris.
Drugstore. I don't want to risk missing our chance.
Sure. Curiosity Shop does look pretty cool.
We can check it out after.
Fair enough.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't this.
After 40 years of pain, why would you choose to live with more? You're not okay, are you?
I'm sleepwalking through a nightmare and I just can't seem to wake up.
There's no reward for me when I've done what I've got to do.
This is insane!
I can't live like this anymore. I can't live in this nightmare.
Come on, come on, come on.
It's a prison. Something far older.
What is that?
That is Frank Stone.
Welcome everybody to the Xbox booth.
This is our home for Gamescom 2024.
There is so much to do here. There's so many experiences. We've got Xbox, Bethesda, Blizzard, and Activision all under one roof.
We have so much to see, so I think we should just split up.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Over here at the Age of Mythology Retold section, you can get your photo taken with some certified gods and goddesses. But over here's something even cooler, because we've actually got some game stations set up where you can play test the game right here at Gamescom.
Behind these walls, fans are experiencing, I think, the most anticipated expansion of this year, Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. I can't wait to dive into the Dark Citadel and slay swarms of enemies, if I manage to do so. I think only time can tell, and speaking of time,
It's time to check out Diablo Immortal, because we just can't get enough of it around here. At the Diablo Immortal section, you'll be able to play the game itself on the little setups here, but also set a leaderboard time where you can potentially win an incredible Inarius statue, which looks unbelievable. But hey, what's that over there?
the Doomslayer has already graced many an Insta story as he lords over the booth of Doom, the Dark Ages.
Fans can also celebrate 10 years of the Elder Scrolls Online by checking out the latest chapter, Gold Road, as well as catching a rare glimpse of an Elder Scrolls replica. There's only one of 2 in the world. If you're feeling brave enough, you can even grab a photo with Athelia herself.
World of Warcraft, the war within, takes on new meaning when you strap yourself into one of these ultra-immersive devices. Let me tell you, it's my 3rd ride in a row and I'm really, really baffled by this experience. So make sure to check this out and check out the expansion.
And of course, it just wouldn't be Gamescom without the Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass experience, where here our attendees can actually win themselves some prizes by slapping that big green button, which I think I'm going to have a go on while you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Come on. This year, the Elder Scrolls Online celebrates 10 years. I should have brought some sweet rolls. But here to give us the latest from the franchise, please welcome the Elder Scrolls President Matt Fyrell and Creative Director Rich Lambert himself. How you doing?
Great.
Great.
Yeah. Great to be here. It's great to be here in the Xbox booth here at Gamescom.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are no strangers to Gamescom in general, so you're aware of the behemoth scale of everything. But I mean, this is something else for the Xbox booth. It's great to have like a whole team together for it, which is awesome. And you guys are on the booth as well, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But what I want to get into is the fact that it is 10 years. That's really special for a game to go for that long. And you guys thought, well, let's make a big deal out of it. Let's celebrate. So how are we doing that in-game?
Yeah, well, you know, it's been 10 years since we launched, but it's been like 18 years since we founded the studio. So we've been working on this game a long time.
Forever, yeah.
And Rich and I were both here in the very beginning. So, but yeah, we're celebrating. Obviously, we're here at Gamescom. We've done some great community events outside the game. We had a huge one in Amsterdam that you were at.
It was a lot of fun, I gotta say.
Oh, yes. Well over 1,000 people. Just a couple weeks ago, we had another big one in Germany.
Yeah, the Tavern.
The Tavern, also huge with live music and just a huge multi-day festival. And then we've done other stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, it's countless, right? We've got new things planned, you know, in the future. You know, we're going to be at TwitchCon, and then also we've got an Australia event coming up too. So.
Yeah, and inside the game, you know, we've had just back-to-back events, just celebrating 10 years. So we're giving lots of free stuff away to players in the game, and it's all a lot themed around different chapters that we've had over the years and different characters and everything. So it's just, we're really trying to do, you know, pull out all the stops and have a great inside the game experience, but then also bring it out to the fans out in the real world.
Well, let's talk about that outside of the game perspective, because you do have pretty substantial little segment really cool, over there. Why did it feel right to make sure that you guys were here at Gamescom?
Well, you know, Germany is a huge player base for us. I think it's the second biggest after the United States. So we've been coming over here for many, many years. I mean, it's I think 2013 before launch was our first year here at Gamescom, and we've had community events here longer than we've had community events in America. Seriously, so Germany is, and Europe as a whole, is a very, very important, in our hearts and to the success of the game, and we like to come out and thank them in game. But yeah, we got a huge presence in the booth.
It's unbelievable. Like, there's people lined up all around. We've got some cosplayers here. It's just this really amazing feel and vibe. And then, of course, we get to meet the players, hang out with them. Some players, Matt said, we've been here at the tavern since 2013, and I remember, it started really small and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's people that come every year that we get to see and just see how they're doing.
And it just feels great to see people being jumping so deep into it as well, and it's a huge part of their lives. This is how they've met some of their best friends, that they've spent countless hours in the game just experiencing the incredible tales that you've been able to tell through it. So that it's a really nice way to connect and meet genuine friends here.
Yeah, and it's important here that we've been talking about this for a few minutes now, and we're talking about the community, because the community is the game in many ways. For a game to last for 10 years at this level of success, right? It's more about the people that play the game at this point than the people that make it. So we never forget that. We very much appreciate it. And we always know when we do have community events and like hands-on and things here at Gamescom, players like to come here to meet each other more than even to meet us. Like their best friends are in the game sometimes, and just to meet them in the real world is awesome.
And we just happen to be here, right? Like that's the thing, right? Like so it's really cool.
So 10 years, you've not just been like sitting around letting people enjoy the game. You've been working hard. There have been new content updates. You've had a new chapter released this same year as well. Do you want to talk a bit about Gold Road and what's there for players to experience with that?
Yeah, Gold Road is the continuation of the story that we started last year with Necron. So it's this story about a new Daedric prince who's been long forgotten, Athelia. She looks different, she acts different than everybody else, and then it's a bit of a nostalgia trip through the West Weald, which was also in Oblivion, Test for Oblivion. So yeah, it's just been really cool to be able to do that, and then add new systems as well. We added the scribing system, which allows players to essentially build their own abilities. And really kind of mix and match, those abilities with their builds, and then, just change the colors and whatnot to really match their role play.
Yeah, because that's such an important part for your players. It's not just about being able to get the DPS meter up. It's so much more than that, right?
Yeah, it's like I joke with Rich a lot. We're talking about scribing, but we have a roguelike game. Infinite Archives inside our game, right? We have so many different things you can do in ESO, and in fact, years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, we started calling it a virtual world, like a fantasy virtual world, because that's really what it is. It's much more than a game at this point. You can log in and play a card game. Now you can decorate your house and share it with others, and antiquity system and PvP, and right, so. There's just so much to do in this game that you can really play all week and do different things every day.
You guys were Metaverse before people even were thinking about Metaverse. I mean, you had them beat. Speaking of housing, you do have a current update available for PC players with the update 43. Console players are going to be able to get hands-on with that pretty soon, but give us a brief overview of what they can expect with that.
So the big new system is home tours, right? It allows players to share their creations with other players, and our housing system is incredible. It's super deep. It is free form, so there's no hook points. There's nothing along those lines. Whatever players can dream up, they can build. They can put chairs on the ceilings. They can cobble together a bunch of things to create new assets. And they do, and they make these really cool creations. And now Home Tours allows them to share that with other people. And those people can go in and view these homes and like them, and like it's really going to open the doors for our community.
Yeah, so to speak. But
that's good. I didn't think about that.
The people watching the stream right now, I think, are seeing some housing in game.
Yeah.
And I just want to reiterate, everything they're seeing is in game in our housing system. Like it could be created by the players.
Yep.
And in fact, some of the ones they're going to get to soon are actually created by players themselves.
Amazing.
And it's unbelievable what they can do with the tools we've given them.
Well, it's a good thing you never asked me, because mine just always looks like some midlife crisis bachelor's pad. There's
I'm not very good with it either,
there's like monster trophies on the wall, like one chair in the middle of it. It looks really sad, but with this update, I think I'm going to have to try and up my housing chops and make something look good.
Just going through and exploring and seeing what other players are doing is just so inspiring, right? Like, it's amazing.
It's not just the only thing that's getting updated, though, because we mentioned the roguelike part of it as well, Infinite Archives. That's also having a few new flourishes added to it as well, right?
Yeah, so we've added a bunch of new bosses into there, some new monster types. We've added in 2 new arena types, so there's a fire and ice arena in there. We've added new verses and visions, which are the buffs that players earn while they're kind of progressing through. And then, of course, there's tons of new loot, new class sets and whatnot.
Amazing. Community being at the heart of your game. We know that they can also be vocal too, which is a good thing, because that's passionate. I like it. And that's the way that we can make great games even greater. So there must be some improvements on the way, some feedback you've had lately that you're looking to include in the game pretty soon.
Yeah, we ship updates to ESO every 12 weeks, and we've been doing that since 2015. So, and every one of those has had a fix, a bug fix, or balance tweaks, or some kind of quality of life fix, based on feedback we've gotten from the community. And you know, we can't get to everything quite as fast as the community would like us to, I am sure. Yeah. But you know, we were responsive, and we would not be here right now if we didn't take the feedback the community gave us and acted on it. And so things like home tours, right? There's a huge segment of ESO now of the player base which really does primarily housing. You know, so we gotten some feedback from the other players in the game, like, why are you doing a housing feature?
I see people say housing is end game. Like, that is the end goal.
It's fashion and housing, right? Like, that's what you hear a lot. And you know, to Matt's point, sometimes they're not big things. Sometimes they're just small things. Like, one of the, I think, is a big thing that's coming in is probably one of the smallest things. And it's, we now remember the last guild you posted in for the guild stores. So now you can be in 5 guilds in ESO. And what oftentimes would happen is it would reset back to like that first guild that you joined. So you're posting stuff to the guild store in the wrong guild, and right, so that's just a pain point, and we were finally able to get around to fixing that.
Awesome. I do want to make sure that I give you guys a shout out for possibly one of the most memorable trailers from Showcase, because your 10-year one was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Like, we were all watching it, doing a little mini watch party in the Xbox On studio, and we were like, this is great stuff.
You know, and I think over the years, you know, this is an Elder Scrolls game, right? A lot of the videos we've done are a lot about combat and fighting giant, you know, monsters and huge, you know, demon Daedric princes, right? But that video, the We Belong video, is more about the heart of the game, and that's from what the players experience. That's much more what the game is to them than just going on quests. Because of course we have that, but you're doing it with friends, right? You're doing it with people that you meet in the game, and you're starting out and you can't do much, and then you get really powerful, right? That's the heart of the game right there in that video.
Amazing. Well, when update 43 drops on console, I'll make sure to spruce up my home. Maybe you could tour it, see what you think. But thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. The Elder Scrolls Online update 43 is launching September 4th, 2024, so pretty soon. For details on that update, the 10th anniversary plans, and more, make sure that you do tune into the ESO Gamescom live stream, which is kicking off in just over an hour at 6 p.m. CEST, 12 p.m. EDT at twitch.tv/Bethesda. Now for a refreshing change of pace for the hero shooter genre. That pace is fast, by the way. Here now, enjoy the wildly colorful and furious world of Fragpunk.
Yo! Hate rules? Fragpunk's here to spice them up. We're the 5v5 FPS that lets you bend the rules with cards. Cards can literally do anything. They can beef you up. They can change the weather. They even interact with each other. So you can blast people up even more. Or find foes when they try to be sneaky. Crush them with massive force. But remember, they've got tricks of their own. If you're down on luck, then you better have a good team with you. ready to duke it out, one-on-one, till the last one stands. Bend the rules in Fragpunk!
I like it. I'ma cut loose if I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I'm not a carbon copy. I'm the original. I'm dropping things like copies. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. If it's got to be on a gyro, I'll just take some island. I like it. I like it.
Another prison guard. Good luck, mate. You're gonna need it. There's one escape pod left, but you're not the only geezer bolting after it. There's a lot of wankers between you and the sweet taste of freedom. Just a bunch of psychos gunning for the same prize. A lot like me. Better luck next time, mate. You might make it farther than the last pig I murked. He even took down some big boys along the way. But the last guard, well, they ain't exactly dead. Looks like one of you guards finally put some big boy pants on. Brilliant. 'Cause is just getting started. Close. Maybe the next guard will do better.
Well, Redacted looks absolutely amazing. We're super excited to be officially revealing the game today. It's from the minds behind the Callisto Protocol, and it's a frenetic roguelike with a darkly comic twist. Here to tell us more, please welcome the head of Striking Distance Studios, Steve Papoutsis, and creative director, Ben Walker. Guys, welcome to Germany. How are you?
Thank you so much for having us today. It's great to be here.
Awesome.
So this isn't the first time that we've actually seen the trailer. We've seen it where it was under the code name Project Birdseye. Can you tell us a little bit about the secrecy and about Redacted now?
Sure. So when we first started thinking about this project, we started prototyping from the controller out. We were really interested in creating fast, responsive controls that worked for melee and shooting and our energy mechanic. And so as we were developing that, we then talked about the types of games we liked, and we found ourselves playing a lot of roguelikes. What we liked about that particular style of game was the replayability and the experimentation that occurs. So you have strategic and tactical choices. So all of those things kind of came together, and as we were prototyping it, we thought, well, let's see what people think of this. So we released that trailer that you mentioned for Project Birdseye, and that was met with positive reception. So we're here today with you, thank you, to announce the official name of the game, which is Redacted.
No, it's amazing to see it, and I know we're going to be going through a load of gameplay as well for viewers to be able to check out. But it looks amazing.
So good. I mean, you guys mentioned it there. It sounds like you had a lot of fun making the game, and certainly it's a wee bit of a departure from the Callisto Protocol and what players might expect from you guys. But as we look at some of the gameplay, can you tell us a bit more about Redacted, and then what can we expect to look forward to?
Sure, absolutely. So again, it's a roguelike style game, and it's focused in a prison. So one of the things that we thought would be really fun was developing the story around what it would be like when a zombie outbreak occurred in a prison. So not only are there workers at the prison, but there's also inmates. So we thought that was an interesting idea, so we started developing along those lines. And we also included some of those key elements of roguelikes that I mentioned, which are the experiments that we have, which are our upgrades, and the various skills and meta currencies that you can use in-game to really change your play styles as you go through the experience.
You mentioned a load of the prisoners. They're called rivals in the game, aren't they? Can you explain to us what rivals are and how that's going to affect the gameplay?
Absolutely. So the idea, again, with the rivals was, hey, you know, there's other people in this prison, so what would they be doing during this outbreak, right? So we thought it would be interesting if there was a race to one escape pod. So not only are you racing against the rivals, but you're also having to deal with them. So they can do things like have room modifier attacks where they can slow you down or impede your progress. But you can also counter back to them, and you can use your own environmental control attacks and try to slow them down and impede their progress. Not only that, but then you can also square off against them in one-on-one fights. So think of them as like bosses as you go through the experience. And so not only do you have the challenge of the various monsters within this game, but you also have to deal with these rivals who are trying to escape.
Yeah, and you can kind of see their progress along the bottom of the screen on the gameplay, can't you?
Yeah.
And like if they're still standing and what's kind of happening to them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Catch up as well. Nice. I mean, going back a little bit, I understand it's a roguelike, and when I think of that, I think permadeath, but maybe, Ben, you could show us how that's going to be quite a core part of the gameplay in Redacted.
Sure. So this is actually the area where you start when you die and you come back. And on the team, we like to say death is the opportunity to come back stronger.
Nice.
And so, you know, we have our punching bag here. As you can see, these are all our terminals where you buy your permanent upgrades. On the right, we have all of our currencies. The top one is the credits, which is only spendable and remain used inside the game.
Yep.
And then we have our contraband here, which is for our permanent skills. So I can purchase one of these and then equip it on the side. So you actually build your own kind of loadout here, and I can actually buy more slots as I progress as well. So we have about 45 of these across 5 pages, so there's really a lot to dig into here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of different combinations for you to use. What other meta currencies have you got on the right hand? Because we can see them on the right hand side of the screen. What are they, and how do we what do we spend them on?
Yeah, so over here we have the security IDs, which you purchase suits with. And as you can see, we have lots of suits to choose from.
They look so cool. Have you got a favorite one?
This is one of my favorite ones, the pilot suit.
Pilot
so
suit, nice.
I'll purchase it now. And then every suit has an initial buff that it gives you. And then also you can go and increase the upgrades to it as well. And so clearing 30 rooms, I'll get to reload my weapon faster.
Okay, sick.
So there's a lot of progression opportunities as well. So if you find like your own particular playstyle that you really like, you can hone in and focus on that and be like, all right, this is how I want to approach the next round.
Exactly, and your skills and your suit and then your guns all play into how that build works out for you.
So
sick.
what else do we have? What else do we have here?
So we have 5 melee weapons and 8 ranged weapons, and players can mix and match those any way they like. These are some of my favorites, the dual blasters.
They look nice.
Yeah, and then once the player escapes for the first time, they'll be able to unlock the upgrades for the weapons as well. So it keeps going, and you can keep going farther, keep getting stronger.
Yeah, and what else is there in the hub for players to get involved with?
So this is where we can transfer currency and also buy things like the first aid station in between levels, which is very, very important. So here, let me purchase the environment control.
Let's get going.
So as Steve was talking about, this is how you attack rivals remotely. So you purchase the upgrades here.
Yeah, because we saw this happen a couple times in the gameplay that we saw a little bit earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And this will slow them down, it'll stop them, it'll do damage. And then once you buy all of them, you get the next tier of it. So you just keep upgrading and upgrading.
Okay, sick. There's on the screen there was something about a combo with the rival attacks. What was that about there?
Yeah, so when you actually do your rival attack, you select the rival, and then you have a limited time to kind of punch in this code.
Sick.
So there's a little bit of a rhythm to it.
Yeah, rhythm game, love that.
Yep.
Okay, sick. That's so cool.
And then the final two we've got are the redaction map and the performance review center. What are those?
Yeah, so the performance review is a summary of your run. So here you can see what experiments you used, how many metacurrency elements that you collected, the schematics and the fabrications. So this is a good way to kind of strategize as you go through, see what you did before and see what you might try to do next time. In addition to that, we have the Watcher log, which actually provides a lot of deep statistics for you. It's fun to kind of min-max and see how you did against the various rivals, which experiments you tend to gravitate towards, and you can see that all here. So it's fun to kind of dig into the statistical element of the game.
It's also where I can see people getting so competitive. That's like going like, no, I can get a faster time than you. I can do better with this setup, and see like all that kind of comparison. Like I know, like us at the Xbox On team would do that an absolute ton on stream.
How many Stumbaton skills have you got or something? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we've got the redaction map.
Yeah, so this ties into kind of the mystery of our game. So here you're going to find out about the rivals. As you go through the game, you're actually going to find these computer rooms. And when you interact with the computer room, you're going to see these dossiers. And as you go through and unredact the information here, you'll actually be gaining positive buffs for yourself. So you're going to be increasing the damage you do against the enemies. You're going to be creating vulnerabilities for them. And so you'll also be doing all that. And in addition to that, you're going to find out more about the rivals and a little bit of their backstory. So it's a key component to really being able to deal with and handle the rivals.
Oh, that's awesome. What I do know is we've got a lot more gameplay to check out, because it'd be amazing to see all these different like weapons and upgrades in action, so you can talk us through it.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
Let's check out some more gameplay. But honestly, one of the things I love so much about games is when there are so many options for you as a player, and that's what Redacted has for you to progress and improve. So Bex, what do you think as well?
I mean, yeah, I'm really enjoying this kind of like secret element to the dossiers and these rivals, and I really like some of these headings that we've got. There's some interesting topics that I'm excited to explore later. Oh, who's this guy?
All right.
Got a little outline here.
Yeah, so this is a mysterious figure that we call Mr. Green.
Mr. Green.
He's a bit of a cleaner, and he's at the prison. We don't know why. Hopefully players are going to find out. But he'll be interacting with you and kind of providing you some insights as you progress through the experience.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but Mr. Green is a shadowy figure.
Okay, seems like we can trust him right now, but given all of the rivals and all of the other people that you've told us about so far, I'm not too convinced.
I don't know if you can ever trust a shadowy figure. That to me is just like, especially one in a prison, that just doesn't seem to work. But because there's so many options of how to play the game, can you kind of run us through some of your favorite builds? I think this is us going up against one of your rivals right now, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Like Steve mentioned, we call our upgrade trees experiments.
Yeah.
And so we have a total of 115 of those in the game, split up against across 7 categories. A couple of my favorites are the biotech, and mixing that with the electricity or the energy build. Speeds up rates of fire, and then biotech has a great skill called Rot, which enables enemies to explode on death.
Nice.
So you can see we're using it right here on his main fire.
Oh, cool. I love an area of effect. That's always helpful.
Yeah, there's also like constant combination of using melee and ranged attacks, isn't there, throughout the gameplay?
There is, and since you don't get to choose which upgrades you get to pick every time, you'll find yourself exploring and finding new ones that you weren't expecting that turn out to be really fun. And so we've had a lot of people start to play different ways just because they stumbled on a really fun build.
Yeah, it's always going to be one of the funny bits. It's like, you're going to go, no, I'm going to go use these guns because this is what I want to use. I love them. And then you'll be like, wait, no, that's like the most powerful melee weapon in the game. I'm just going to go melee build or something like that.
Yeah.
I like it. So Ben, yeah, you're much more of a corrosive kind of area of effect and rapid fire build. I like that. That's
absolutely
cool. I'd probably go for something like that over like a strength build or like close combat kind of build or whatever. What do you think you would do?
See, I've always been, right, I was like, keep a distance. Like, I played as like, I was always like an assault rifle player in like FPSs. I was like, kind of keep a distance, kind of like kite people. But one thing I want to point out here is there is a glowing corpse which you see throughout the game. They pop up in certain locations. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so that's actually your last corpse, exactly where you died on your last run. And he has the exact same build you do. So at the end, once combat's over, you can choose to fight him and get back one of your skills, but at an increased power level. So, but it's always risky, right? Because if you had a really good build before, it might be a hard fight to win. So you got to kind of pick and choose your battles. But it is a way for you to get something back that you had on your last run that you really liked.
Yeah.
No, I can just imagine though. Bex is never going to see the glowing corpse. I know.
That's like the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Oh,
What do you
thanks, Penny. I mean, yeah, the glowing corpse sounds great. I love that element of, it's almost like Soulsy. You get that reward for going back to the same place, and especially in roguelike atmosphere. I love that as well. I mean, we're seeing so many sick looking visuals here. I can notice some of the symbols from your game's Callisto Protocol and lots of this new art style that we can enjoy as well. They're eyeballs, which is great. But what was your philosophy behind this, and like, I guess kind of moving away from Callisto Protocol too?
Right, so we wanted to create something that was different and lean into things that we really enjoy. So we're big fans of comic books, graphic novels, and we also wanted to have more of an irreverent, fun tone to this game. So we gravitated towards the style and look that you see in the game. It's a little bit more vibrant, colorful.
It's gorgeous.
And it allowed us to really experiment and play around with the variety of enemies. I think we have over 34 enemies in the game. So we really wanted to just kind of go all out with the colors and everything. So that really worked well for us, and we think it definitely looks different than the previous game. And the other thing that we really liked about this particular game this time was we partnered with a group called Mutato Musica.
Okay.
And we wanted to create our own unique music for the game. So we came up with this idea for future punk. So the soundtrack is kind of got this arcadey punk kind of vibe going on. And we really enjoy it, so we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, no, Future Punk is definitely something I think I could get into as well, and I love the art style. But Ben and Steve, like, big thank you for joining as well. But if you've got any last words for everyone watching about Redacted?
Well, we hope everyone enjoys playing it as much as we enjoyed making it. The team had a great time doing that.
Yeah, and I'd like to say thank you very much for allowing us to reveal the game name today with you. And I want to thank the team at Striking Distance for all the wonderful work they did for this project. Thank you.
Heck yeah. I mean, yeah, thank you for letting us be included in this honor as well. We'll definitely be watching out for more Redacted. I cannot wait to get my hands on it when it comes out on October 31st. Very scary. Pre-orders are open right now. So coming up, we've got a sim that is unlike any other sim we've seen before. But first, fans of the first Descendant have been not so patiently waiting for more on Season 1. Well, guys, the wait is over. Let's have a look.
Turn the ship around. We'll put it back.
We managed to fend off our enemy's large-scale attack, but the war is far from over. The Colossus still threatens us, and our enemies are plotting new strategies. Can Ingress ever find true peace? Has Carril really given up on the war? After Carril's fleet disappeared, the Vulgus began moving from deep within the dungeon to raid the Ancestors' facilities in Ingress and reclaim the outpost. Detecting this, Ingress immediately dispatched a scout. That scout's name is Haley. Haley, who rose from a supply soldier in the guerrilla unit to a legendary sniper, is now a newcomer in the Descendant Corps. Ruthlessly eliminating enemies with her anti-material sniper rifle, she dominates battles with her ability to drop her body temperature and emit cold air when her emotions run high. When shooting from a distance, her weapon's critical hit multiplier increases, making her an excellent fit for sniper rifles. She possesses sub-zero bullets that fire multiple shots in an instant, and a storm snare that pushes back and rapidly cools down enemies in front. Above all, Haley's specialty is switching to her anti-material sniper rifle and firing a single, incredibly powerful shot, stronger than any other attack. In Season 1, the Vulgus launches a new strategy, the Invasion. Invasions occur randomly in 2 dungeons of the hard difficulty infiltration operations. Players can choose to enter between the existing operations or the invasions. Invasion dungeons are only available for solo play, testing the strength of the Descendants. 3 Vulgus legions will block the Descendants with different defense mechanisms. The quantum field creates an immortal state, impervious to physical attacks. The resonance shatterers cause massive explosions with the energies of RK and the Iron Heart. The Keeper Tile encryption device maintains a powerful security system. Invasion dungeons present new mechanics that disrupt the Descendants' operations. Solve these enemies' mechanisms and swiftly eliminate them. Invasion dungeons are designed for speed runs, and the faster you clear them, the greater the rewards that await. After coming in contact with the Iron Heart, Descendants experience an RK resonance phenomenon. This resonance grants the Descendants new powers. It's the season growth inversion reinforcement. Inversion reinforcement is a new growth system that resets at the start of each season. It includes 5 types: hunting, attributes, recovery, survival, and seasons. Through the inversion reinforcement, Descendants gain beneficial effects for progressing through seasonal content, and can also obtain effects that compensate for their weakness. Each season, we plan to tailor and replace the inversion reinforcement effects, providing effects that perfectly fit the seasonal content. In addition to a new Descendant, a new Ultimate Descendant will be introduced in Season 1. Ultimate Freyna, who has evolved RK's toxicity into a more powerful weapon, will make her debut. In Season 1, you can discover Freyna's exclusive story and uncover the tale behind the name of her skill, Room Zero Trauma. Excava is an assault rifle with powerful versatility. It can be obtained through the Battle Pass and is also available as a free reward. Excava charges voltage when attacking enemies and has a unique effect of firing the charged voltage as an energy grenade. It is a versatile weapon that combines the inherent versatility of an assault rifle with a powerful shot. Frost Watcher is a scout rifle that can be farmed through the Season 1 content. When hitting enemies from long range, it reduces chill resistance and enhances the damage of one's chill skills, making it a perfect fit for Viessa and Haley. If you've prepared a new Descendant, ultimate weapon, and inversion growth, it is now time to face the most powerful Colossus, Deathstalker. Deathstalker lurks in the darkness of the void, targeting the life of Descendants. It is stronger than any Colossus encountered so far. To protect Albion from the threat of Deathstalker, we must once again Season 1 Invasion. Play for free.
It's a crazy, crazy game. But no matter what you do to make your dreams come true, the choice is up to you. 'Cause everything leads to love.
This is my scooter, Il Ragazzo Pazzo.
You know the gentleman goes around cleaning the house with his vacuum hose.
Name's Hoover. My friends just call me Hoov, though.
Besides, we both know you're cheating on me, so it's only fair.
I wish I was cheating on you.
But no matter how you play, it'll lead to a brand new day. You're gonna get swept away. 'Cause everything leads to love. You can win everything. Everything leads to
As developers of the relationship testing epic that is the Overcooked series, if you know, you know, it seems fitting that they would take on a dating sim in a rather unusual way. Here to tell us more about the quirky home furnishing dating fever dream, this is Date Everything from Sassy Chap Games. Please join me in welcoming co-creative lead and executive producer Robbie Draymond, writer, producer Amanda Hubbard, and lead writer and designer Ray Chase, all the way over there. Hi Ray, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. How are you all doing Are you having a great Gamescom?
Really, the best Gamescom. And, you know, just so you and everybody at home knows, I know my name said Amanda, but I'm actually Tiago today. I'm sporting our lead programmer's jacket because someone stole my jacket out of my mailbox. So if you're watching this, if you could please bring my jacket back to me, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. So all good, maybe aside from Tiago and the missing jumper.
Poor Tiago.
There we go. Now, I most likely confused people in the intro of what exactly I was talking about with the game. So for those who don't know the premise of Date Everything, tell us more. What exactly does that mean?
Sure, this is an absolutely bizarre game that has never been made before. You start out, it's almost a first-person shooter, as it were. You get a job as a customer service agent doing some remote work. You are immediately on your first day replaced by AI, but there's nothing to fear because your entire existence will be changed when a mysterious package comes to your front door, which holds these glasses called the Date-Viators, which allow you to directly acknowledge a thing's existence or date everything in front of you.
Because that's the first thing I would want to do if I put special glasses on. Is like, who do I want to date?
Exactly. It's very intuitive.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like you've made the game of my dreams. What about any other things to add, or has Ray basically just nailed that?
No, Ray's our lead designer, hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
It's perfect, yeah.
But the idea just came from a random day when Robbie and I were joking around.
Well, I like our game. The idea is a joke at the beginning, but underneath there's so much more. And yeah, we just pitched it out during a voiceover session we're doing together, and then a couple days later, Ray came to me and says, I think I want to make this a thing.
There's something here.
And the next thing we knew, we were filling out contracts to start a video game company, and here we are 6 years later. It's wild.
Wonderful. Okay, well, we can't talk about a dating simulator without asking what we're dating. You see where I'm going here. So tell me a little bit more about who it is we're going to be interacting with.
Ooh, yes, absolutely.
Well, it's everything. It's the name of the game. It's literally
Finish
everything.
the segment. That's the game.
Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
We put the trailer out in the world a couple of weeks ago, and one of the most fun parts is like going to the comments and seeing like the people guessing who is going to be out there, and almost always would go, yeah, you can date. It's the name of the game. Yeah, but I think we all have our favorites too. Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, do you want to talk about your favorites now?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have anyone in mind?
Oh, so many.
I
Too
looked
many.
out of the bag on Twitter a couple of weeks ago when we got to reveal Ben Starr as Dorian the Door. Massive fan of his work, and what an interesting character. This is a character. In this game, you can get love endings, friend endings, or hate endings with every one of the characters. And Dorian stands up for those who are looking to just be friends. For that playthrough, that's a middle of the road, not really looking to date everyone, and he's an absolute champion of friendship more than anything.
We should say that for the people that don't know, because it's not directly revealed in the announcement, is that every character has 3 different relationship statuses that you can get an ending with.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is date everything, but you can also befriend everything, and you might just hate them too.
Hate everything is my kind of game.
Maybe there's a way to play it as hate everything. We'd be remiss if we didn't do it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I was going to say Tiago then, but that's...
Yeah. Tiago, if you could jump up here. I'd have to go with, I think, Von Trapp. Hilarious character, and probably one of my favorite sessions that we did. It's so funny. You can't go through Von Trapp's story without laughing, crying, sobbing. It's so good.
We had an amazing writing team of about 30 individuals, and they all put their unique perspective on it. And then the voice actors came in
and added another layer, right?
And when you're talking about a character like Von Trapp, which is Dana Snyder, who you might know from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Master Shake, a ton of other comedic stuff, he just kind of went wild. And Tiago, our poor programmer, had to deal with all the changes.
The real Tiago.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, and it is such it's a great character. My favorite is kind of our mascot, Skylar Specs. She's plays the actual Date-Viators themselves, and though they're a mechanics character that sort of show you how to play the game, the writing is she's so lovely, so fun, so.
The writing is so good.
Please,
the writing.
Well, okay. Like falling in love with me, I guess.
That has been the nature of our friendship for the last 10 years, pretty much. I can't resist a good beard. But then we brought in nerd icon Felicia Day to come in and play Skylar, and she brought this whole new level of charm to it. So yeah, we've all got our favorites, but I think those are our top 3.
I love it.
We might change this. Someone asks us next week.
Don't worry about it.
Every single day, I feel like every playthrough you'd find a new reason to love someone else.
They're all my children. I can't actually pick.
There you go. I'm sorry I made you do so. I do want to stay on the topic of voice actors though, because obviously yourself, you've done done quite a lot of work here at the table. So what's it like moving from performance to development on a title and being behind the scenes a little bit more?
Absolutely. We were unprepared for the amount of work it is to make video games. One of those things that looks is like so much fun on the outside, and yes, obviously we've had a blast, but way more spreadsheets than you ever thought possible. We've all learned a ton of lessons. We've all upped the amount of hats that we wear making this game, and it's something that's absolutely the high point of my life. I'm so proud of our team and where this game has come from the original inception to actually being able to make 100 characters that all are different, that all have different playthroughs and styles, that you can really play this game for a really long time. I can't believe that we actually achieved that.
Yeah, as actors, we're in a really unique position because what we do is very forward-facing, but it's very low man on the totem pole when it comes to actually being the creative force driving whatever you're making. So for us to come together and be able to make something of our own and then put it out into the world, not only is one of the most rewarding experiences, it's also terrifying. But that part of it was over. We gave the world the conceit, the idea, and from what we can tell, they said yes. So we're so excited for everybody out there, you all, to play it. It's the best.
Do you think it's maybe changed your perspective the next time you go to voice something that's someone else's game of like, I suddenly understand everything that went into this one, actually?
It already has. I think the very first session that I got into post being like halfway through production in this, my outlook on the entire script was completely different. And if I do say so myself, I think the session went even more smoothly.
I'm going to be more judgy now.
I learned also how hard it is to schedule actors, and so I will make myself more available to everyone.
Actually, I want to mention the actors a little bit because we've already heard a couple. Felicia and Ben, I'm on first name basis here, clearly. There's a humongous roster. Are you just going into little black books and just messages like, hey, do you want to just come do a voice? Like, what was that process like?
For us, diversity has been a key part of this, not just in the stories that we're told and the appearance of the and the background of our characters, but also in like the level and the background of our actors too. We have a lot of AAA names, household names that everybody knows. We have a lot of up-and-comers that we really like and wanted to give them a broader stage. We have non-traditional actors who are coming in and doing roles. We got to run the gamut on our casting.
We have film and television actors. We've got video game staples. We've got people who did we've got Broadway actors who did their. One of my good buddies did his first ever video game ever.
I bet that's a fantastic performance as well for Broadway.
He might sing a little bit.
That'd be a big one.
Yes.
But there was a lot of texting. It was literally like, hey, would you come be a chair?
Are you free on Thursday?
But the funny part is word got around. We recorded for about 5 months, about 180 sessions or so. There's 70,000 fully voiced lines in this game, 1.2 million words. It's a monster. Wow. But word started to get around that the sessions were fun. And then it went from less of a, will you please be a chair, to be like, can I be a lamp?
I'll be a carpet. Just let me in.
A coffin?
A carpet.
I thought you said a coffin.
No,
That's the mortuary DLC.
Spooky DLC.
Halloween update.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
More. Anyway, yeah, wonderful. Right, we're going to go down the bench here.
Okay.
I want to know who you are in the game because it's worth mentioning that you're going to write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, like you're in it. You're all over it.
Just so you know, this is an Xbox exclusive then, right? Because we have not revealed who we play in the game.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually play 5 roles in one. I played the Hanks.
Okay.
And the Hanks are all of the hangers in your closet.
Yep.
And they're like just 5 adventure sports loving dudes, but they're all me just doing a slightly different voice. So if you love me, you're gonna love this. If you hate me, it's gonna be painful. But I love the Hanks. They are just...
Oh no!
Yeah, of course.
Can I get a live oh no?
Oh no! I don't have an Australian accent.
Immaculate.
But the Hanks are. We had somebody play through it today, and they had such a blast. I love them. I hope you guys love them too. Yeah.
Yo, baby.
Who are you?
Me, I play Rebel, the rubber ducky. Rebel is very edgy, has a bad attitude, doesn't want to hang out with anybody. Really don't understand why you keep talking to me. But secretly, underneath, Rebel might have a little bit more heart than that. Maybe, probably not.
But definitely can't reveal that.
You got to work to get there, though, for sure.
You really have to put in some effort.
Although already Rebel is winning the fan art contest, right? Yeah. It's a popular character design.
There has been already dozens of images of Rebel populating the internet in the best, most fantastic way. I was not expecting that. I'm so glad people love them.
All right, illustrious leader, who do you play?
I play one of my favorite characters. I wrote his theme song. I got to voice him. I wrote all the things he said. He is the Scandelabra, one of the first characters that we came up with in this. He's like an 18th century courtier.
Look at him.
And while everybody else loves the fact that you're going around and being very polyamorous and doing it, for him it's all scandal. And he keeps track of all the love endings that you have and berates you for it. But in the end, maybe he loves it on the inside.
I have to ask, actually, specifically on that, with the names being pun-based, as a Brit, I adore that. What comes first? Do you come up with a Scandelabra or a scandal, and then you try to fit that into an object?
We've had this question before.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
some are non-negotiable. Every house has a table or chair. That we knew.
Fair. Yeah.
And then sometimes the pun comes along with the casting too. So our friend Jeremy Lee, who's one of the best voice actresses ever, we're like, well, we have to make her the chair, right? And call him Jeremy. So sometimes it's a different formula, but
it's unpredictable. Yeah, sometimes the name comes first and the concept comes with it. Sometimes we have something where we're like, well, we have a floor. What do we do with this character? And we start to work on it. What might it be? All these characters were developed at different times. Some faster than others. Some had different rewrites and stuff. But we didn't want them all to just be rhyming name, even though it might seem like
Yeah, no, fair enough. No, I love it. I do want to come back a little bit, Amanda, to your character, because in the B-roll that we got playing here, there's something that pops up I really want to talk about, which is this content aware that Skylar talks about. I love it as a feature, but I want you to tell me why everyone else should fall in love with it.
Our game in general isn't overly salacious, nor is it anything negative in that way. It's body, it's fun, it's flirty, but mostly it's wholesome and a really good time. We do have characters that we wrote. There's 100 different ones, and it's not all jokes and funny stuff.
Of course.
We really like to dip into some serious stuff. I mean, that's the idea of the concept, right? And then we deliver something more earnest, and some of the characters Ray figured out we have to talk about.
We had a unique opportunity here because it's a sandbox. You can date them in any order, so it meant that like some of our characters, Rebel, for example, who is quite vulgar, let's just say. Skylar says, I've never seen my content aware go off like this. But you have the opportunity to have this content aware feature on, and anything that might be triggering, Skylar is able to like call you out, say what it is this something you're comfortable with, and if not, there's no judgment from us as developers. You can skip that character at absolutely no expense to your playthrough. You still get any ending that you want with them, and you can take out that triggering content. And if you're open for everything, you can turn off content aware right at the beginning, and it never comes up.
Yeah, it's a really a small percentage of when that content aware pops up. But if you see it the first time and you don't want to deal with it, gone forever, and then you can turn it back on whenever you'd like.
Exactly, yeah.
Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you so much for telling us about that. I love it.
Thanks for asking. Yeah.
You're so welcome.
We want people to have the best possible experience with this. And we always say this is a game, even though it's a dating sim, it's never a game that you would be embarrassed to have someone walk in on you playing.
Yes.
You know?
While you're chirping up the candelabra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're like, oh God, don't look.
Yeah, of course.
So with it being a dating simulator, and you said there's 100 characters in there, are there any pre-existing relationships in the house? Are the players going to meet other complications along the way?
Ooh, yeah, quite a bit. I mean, all of these characters, when the game starts, they have a rich pre-existing life that the player then kind of gets to pull apart and unfold. Some of them interact a little bit more, some are maybe a little bit more siloed, but that's all stuff that the player gets to discover as they go through.
Yeah, I mean, we have two characters that debuted in the trailer, Harper and Dirk, and when you first encounter them, they're kind of intertwined. They're mixed up, and I won't say how to give away too much, but they're mixed up in not the world's. They have a content-aware warning because their relationship could be viewed as toxic to some, and you have a choice. You can do whatever you want. You can get them back together. You can break them apart depending on what you think is best. You can become friends. You can romance them separately, together. You can get them to hate you. And it's all whatever you feel as a player is the right pathway for you. It's been the best part of Gamescom is watching people play and getting to see how they react. And we had some people go, oh no, what does this say about me? And we went, oh yes, what does this say about you? That's the point. Yeah. So yeah, it's the idea.
Yeah, wonderful. And I think we'd also be remiss not to mention it's set in the house. There's loads of rooms. The environment itself is a little bit of a character. So I wonder if there's anything you can share about the system in the game or the locations.
Yeah, well, we have secrets in the game.
Oh, absolutely. We have.
Do you want to tell me them all now?
We absolutely. All right, number 78 is. No, we have lots of. We have a house that you're walking in, and there's obviously a design challenge. How do you make this house interesting? The house changes based on what relationships you have with everybody, and there's little secret characters here and there that you might walk past 100 times, then realize through this system that we were talking about backstage, rumors, which is a way spelled R-O-O-M-E-R-S. Had to get another pun in there.
Absolutely,
But Maggie the Magnifying Glass helps you discover some of these clues to find these more secret characters.
Yeah, and they all exist in different states. Some obviously what you would think the kitchen characters are more connected than others, but you got the secret areas. But we also wanted this is our story delivery system, this house. And we don't want to get too far into it, but it changes and adapts depending on how you play the game. So what you do in the stories will affect the environment. But you're right, we want it to feel homey, we want it to feel cozy. Shout out to my dad, who's a home designer who actually
I was gonna say, where was this going? Just
I know.
shout out to Dad.
I know. Shout out to my dad who designed the home based off a classic like mid-century house. So it feels like a real house that you live in as your player. But how you start your life, that's up to you. Maybe it's not
up to you. Love it. Well, it's also described a little bit more of like a sandbox type game where, as you've said before, Ray, that you can date anyone, anytime, in any order. So I assume that there'll be some surprises along the way for the player. I know you're not going to tell me all the secrets, but is there anything you could tease for everyone at home?
Well, I'll say that's something that we haven't shown off much at this, but there is an overarching story, a critical path that populates based on your progress and has a lot of different endings too. It's not just you date a character, the game ends. We really want you to go through and at least talk to everybody, get an ending with everybody, and get to see the full story of the Dateviators unfold.
Interesting. Well, I cannot thank you enough for stopping by. I'm going to say it out loud, and I'm going to get hated for it, but this is my highlight of the show. Like, truly, it's been a joy talking to you all. I hope you have a phenomenal Gamescom. I'm going to come down and play it myself after this and see who I can start dating, and I'll let you know who my favorites are. But one thing is for sure, I will never be looking at a fridge the same way again. Coming up, we're going to take to the skies with the latest map and join new planes to join Microsoft Flight Simulator. Then it's back down to earth with the latest updates coming to Fallout 76. But now it's time to dawn the role of Kazan as he survives exile, waves of Imperial forces, and relearns the forgotten skills of battle that once helped him save an empire. Check out this deep dive into the first Berserker, Kazan.
General Kazan, who once saved the Empire from the Dragonkin, survives against all odds while being exiled under the false accusation of treason. He embarks on an adventure to uncover the truth behind his downfall and seek revenge against his enemies. Kazan's battles emphasizes hardcore action, while they feature various combat mechanics. The core principle is see and respond. We put significant effort into creating precise and vivid combat experiences based on this concept. Essentially, we designed the game so that the players can observe and decide their actions, providing clear feedback for each decision. Combat moments are primarily divided into two phases: the monster's attack turn and Kazan's attack turn. We aim to make every moment enjoyable. To achieve this, we included various ways to respond to monster attacks. Players can exploit openings to attack or choose to defend or evade when necessary. Techniques like Just Guard and Just Evade, which requires precise timing, are also available. There is no single correct answer. Players can experiment with multiple methods. Your unique combat style will develop based on your choices, ensuring that this process effectively leads to defeating your enemies. Preemptive strikes are a key strategy for tackling powerful enemies with ease. When initiating a battle with a brutal attack from behind, Kazan can gain numerous attack opportunities, limited only by his stamina. Both Kazan and his enemies have stamina, and once depleted, they become exhausted until it recovers. In this state, significant damage can be inflicted not only on Kazan, but also on his enemies. Therefore, managing stamina is crucial. Good management can create advantageous situations, while poor management can lead to serious danger. In battles against strong enemies, including boss fights, using stamina strategically is particularly crucial. Inducing stamina consumption or successfully landing high stamina damage attacks to cause exhaustion is key. Once in an exhausted state, dealing maximum damage through various methods become the core strategy for overcoming bosses. Additionally, targeting and destroying weak points can inflict significant damage and provide extra attack opportunities. Kazan is a skilled warrior who can proficiently wield various weapons, allowing you to experience different combat styles that maximizes each weapon's advantages. Currently, Kazan is equipped with a spear. Although its attack power is somewhat lower, it features long reach, wide range, and impressive combo attacks, making it particularly advantageous in stamina-based combat. This weapon excels at efficiently draining the enemy's stamina and delivering additional damage to exhausted enemies through various methods and combos. The Great Sword is another weapon Kazan can wield. It offers the option to charge most actions, favoring slow but exhilarating and powerful strikes. This weapon excels in solid guarding and counterattacks, enabling a satisfying playstyle that can crush enemies before even engaging in stamina battles. Kazan is an action game that focuses on the fun of character development. As you progress, you'll acquire items and skills, evolving your combat from careful and strategic to powerful and exhilarating. Kazan's journey of revenge is about to begin. Don't miss out on the chance to experience the hardcore action of the first Berserker, Kazan, in the technical closed beta test, starting on October 11th. Xbox players can join through the Insider program.
Hey York, it's great to see you. I'm gutted that I'm not seeing you in person, but I hear that you're in Seattle.
Yes, it's like the first time in at least 4 or 5 years that I'm not going to make it to Gamescom in person, which is a huge bummer because I love the show, I love the people, I love the vibe, the gamers. So yeah, but plus we always have a community event where we meet with the hardest core flight sim enthusiasts. But honestly, we're 13 weeks away from the launch of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And, you know, there's almost so much to do to make sure that everything is perfect that I'm just going to have to stay home and work on the new sim.
How are you feeling coming up to launch? Because as you said, it's only 13 weeks away.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, or MSFS 24 as we now call it, it is the biggest undertaking ever in flight simulation. It's the biggest fleet, the most airports, the most sophisticated flight model, the best physics we've ever done. The digital twin is taking leaps forward this time. We added seasons, worldwide ship traffic, worldwide oil rigs, heliports, glider airports, animals. It's massive. And in MSFS 24, it's the first time that you can exit the aircraft and walk around. So we added tons of detail everywhere on Earth. So it's just huge. And on top of that, we've added an all-new career system where you can pick from dozens of authentic aviation activities in a career. And that adds a completely new dimension to the sim. And so you can be like a firefighter or a firefighter pilot or a cargo pilot or a crop duster pilot or just a passenger airliner pilot. And on top of that, we added short burst activities like low altitude challenges, landing challenges. Just if you have a little bit of time, you can have fun in flight sim.
That is an insane amount of content. I also love the landing challenges. I once somehow managed to get 1 point on them, but you know, the Xbox One team will laugh at me for it, but they are so much fun to do. But you may not be in Cologne in person this year, but I know you are very keen to share some goodies with the community. Can you tell us what?
Yeah, it's actually one of my greatest joys every year to come to Cologne and to bring something to the community that has local relevance. So I don't know if you remember last year, we did EDDK, which is the Cologne-Bonn airport, and we launched that alongside some European cities and a German plane called the DoX, big flying boat. The year before, we had City Update 1, where we actually had scanned the city of Cologne and Bonn and Düsseldorf and Dortmund and Hanover, so really local cities. And we had launched the Junkers F-13, the first all-metal airliner in the world. And this year, we went all in. So I'm happy to announce we're launching World Update 18, which is the DACH region, so Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And we have assembled a huge amount of data for this. So we are launching all new aerials. So these are basically the satellite and aerial imagery that we use for textures of the landscape. And we're actually using the ones that we're going to launch in the next simulator in November. But we wanted to give a preview to the community. And then we have all new digital elevation maps. They're called DEM. And on the top of that, we have photogrammetry cities. So these are the 3D cities that are shown in Flight Simulator. And we have Frankfurt am Main, so Hanau. And then we have Berlin, Potsdam, and Karo, so sort of northeast. And then in Austria, we have Linz, Vienna, and Salzburg. And in Switzerland, we have Bern and Zurich. And on top of that, we have 116, which we call POIs, or places of interest, or points of interest, so famous places. And we made 9 more new missions that showcase sort of the environment and the region. It's one of the biggest updates we've ever done, and I can't wait to share it with the community.
And we've got a trailer, don't we, for everyone to check out? All right, let's take a look. That actually looked stunning. There's so many amazing places to check out. But I know your team does an incredible job with these world updates, and I hear this one hit close to home for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm so proud that we can basically bring regions of the planets to life with these world updates. And this particular one, I don't know if you know this, but I was actually born in Frankfurt, and I, as a little kid, grew up in Heinstadt, which is near the area. And then my mom comes from Darmstadt. My brother lives in Buchschlag. So when we got the new data, I immediately went into the game and into the sim and looked at it, and I found the house I grew up in, the kindergarten I went to. I was like, and then here's the house my mom grew up in. My brother lives over there, so it's super cool, and it's amazing always when I see how accurate everything is.
Yeah, and I can imagine when you can go walk around as well with the new update. It's like you can really get into that like nitty-gritty detail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me. And we call that the digital twin. The whole goal is that we have a real one-on-one representation of the entire Earth. And, the world, I always say the world is full of sensors. So there's sensors and satellites and aircraft, your phones, your cars. And we get all this data and we can feed that back into the sim. So it's getting better and better over time, which is just so cool.
Yeah, and now that we've seen the world update, can we expect a new aircraft to go with it?
Always, we call those local legends. So when we do a world update, we try to basically highlight important things in the history of aviation relative to that region. So for Germany, we did a few already. We did 2 Junkers and 2 Dorniers. And today, I'm very proud to announce a very special plane from Bremen called the Focke-Wulf 200 Condor. And it was first flown in 1937. And at the time, it was the most sophisticated airliner in the world. And we have a trailer.
That was actually amazing. I have never seen that plane before in my entire life, but can you unpack its significance for it being included in Microsoft Flight Sim?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's not at all surprising because the plane, it came out in 1937 and it was a civilian plane. It made a famous flight from Berlin to New York. That was the goal, to have passengers in one go fly over the Atlantic. At the time, typically people flew in seaplanes and they had to take several stops. So this was the first one. And the reason why it could do that is it was very light for its size. It was only 17 tons and it had they had 4 great engines, lots of tanks, and it flew much higher than everybody else did. So typically planes at the time flew 1,500 meters altitude. This one flew 3,000. So you could go, the air is thinner, less resistant, so you can go much further. So it was a major step forward. However, obviously the war came and then the plane unfortunately just disappeared from the skies. But there's a really interesting story. In 1988, they actually found a wreckage. The plane was considered lost. They found a wreckage near Trondheim in Norway. They raised it, took 11 years till 1999. And It was not in good shape, let's put it this way. And then there was a group of volunteers, they call themselves the Condorians, that basically rebuilt the entire plane from scratch, basically, based on the pieces they found. And that was completed in 2021. And that plane is now visitable. You can see it in a museum in Berlin. And I'd followed that story. I called the museum. They allowed us to do a scan. And then we typically try to give something back, right, when we do these collaborations with museums. So I asked them, is there anything we can do to help you guys? And they said, hey, Jörg, there is a Swiss collector who spent his entire life collecting all the instruments for the Condor. And he had sort of built in his house a dashboard of the Condor. But the man was at a point in his life where he wanted to part with his collection. So Microsoft actually bought the collection from the collector, gave it to the museum in Berlin, and they integrated it into the Condor. So, we call it digital preservation, what we do in flight sim, right? And when we can connect that to the real world, where people do the real world preservation of planes, it's just one of the most awesome things, really, for us.
No, it's amazing that people are going to get to play that in game as well, and it really is art imitating life. But thank you so much for joining us. I know you're really busy, kind of getting the last bits for the update together, but you've got one cool announcement for everyone, don't you?
Yes. So World Update 18, the one we just talked about, is available right now. So the sky is calling. Go check it out in Microsoft Flight Simulator and download it today. And just in case you didn't know, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is releasing on November 19th.
And that's also going to be available on Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass for PC. So everyone get their hands on it. But Jörg, thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you here next year in Cologne.
I will be there next year. So thank you so much. It's good to see you.
Thanks for talking to us. See ya.
Hi, I'm Coralie Fegnino, producer of Little Nightmares 3. We are very excited to have the game playable at Gamescom this year, but for all of you that can't be here, we wanted to give you a sneak peek at our demo, as well as some exclusive footage. Little Nightmares 3 tells the story of Flo and Alone, two friends trapped within the spiral, a cluster of disturbing places. They will have to work together to survive in this dangerous world full of delusions and escape the nowhere. While Little Nightmares 3 is still playable in solo with an AI, you'll also be able to play with a friend in online co-op and face your childhood fears together. Welcome to the Necropolis. Here for this walkthrough, we have our two characters, Lo with the raven mask and the blue cape, and Alone with the green jumpsuit and the red pigtails. Each character is equipped with their own iconic item. Alone has a wrench that will have a variety of usages, like for example, activating mechanisms, Lo's iconic item is a bow. It can be used to solve puzzles and make new paths when the road seems blocked. To survive in this dangerous world, teamwork would be essential, as Lo and Alone will have to work together to keep moving forward. During the game, our two friends will find new items to help them progress. Necropolis is a peculiar place. Raised from the desert sands and powered by gusting winds, it has been described as a city of eternal energy and certain death. It is a weird place that used to be inhabited by the dwellers. As you can see, the ancient metropolis is now more of a ghost town, and it is unclear what happened to its inhabitants. is Monster Baby, one of the new residents of Little Nightmares 3. She might have something to do with what happened to Necropolis and the people that used to live here. It seems that crows are not the only living inhabitants left. And to defend themselves against this threat, Law and Alone had to work together and find new uses for the items. Well, night has fallen on Necropolis. It's the first time ever that we show this part of the game. As you can see, the mood in the real city has changed quite a bit. Apparently, Monster Baby doesn't sleep through the night. Not sure we want to become one of her toys. We should probably avoid her gaze and play hide and seek behind the blocks. It should be safe here. That's it for now. Thank you all for watching this gameplay walkthrough. We can't wait to show you more about the game. Little Nightmares 3 will be available in 2025 on Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Windows PC. Wishlist the game now to make sure you don't miss any news.
Well, that was a spooky new look at Little Nightmares 3, which is coming to Xbox in 2025. So now it's time to go to the vault with Skyline Valley out now and the Milepost Zero update launching very soon. Our next guest has plenty to chat about. Here to give us more on the latest from Fallout 76, please welcome Milepost Zero Creative Director John Rush. John,
awesome.
Thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Oh, great. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Heck yeah. Let's talk some Fallout, shall we?
Let's do it.
So first up, a huge part of the Fallout franchise and also Bethesda as a whole is community involvement and the impact that they actually have on yourselves, if that's fair to say. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that impacts your development timeline from the community involvement?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. I've said it before. Bethesda Game Studios has the best community in gaming. They're so great at giving feedback, saying what's not working, saying what they'd like to see. So the team always makes sure to stay on top of all that feedback, whether it's on Reddit or Discord or whatnot. And what we do is we kind of boil it down to large strokes, bigger trends, right? And what features can we make to satisfy these things that players want, and how do they fit across a timeline while satisfying our builders and our adventurers alike.
Nice. I mean, you mentioned Reddit just there, and I'm really curious how you actually use those sites or maybe other corners of the internet to actually take the feedback from the community and then put that in the game. What does that look like for you and the team? Well,
I'd like to outline some sort of really cryptic process, but it's really just me on my phone going down the post and remembering, oh yeah, somebody said that. But it's more than just reading the feedback. It's also being able to look at that feedback through the lens of a player. So we all play the game on the team. I, speaking for myself, have multiple high-level characters I've gone through the game with to try different things. Multiple new characters fresh out of the vault to try different things. So looking at that feedback that we get from players through the lens of players ourselves and kind of trusting ourselves to make the right choices for the game.
Nice. Showing off with quite a few high-level characters there. I see you.
And by the way, I made those myself. I wasn't
done.
giving them. Thank you.
No, that's very good. We were chatting before about one of your latest characters, your ventures. Care to tell us or share with the viewers about the captain?
Oh yes, the latest character sometimes shows up on the socials, and that's Captain Nuke McCloud.
Nice.
And Captain Nuke McCloud lives up to his name and loves to drop nukes. So we get the community together, and they follow me around while I drop nukes, and we just have a lot of fun.
I'll stay out of the way of those servers. That's fine. Avoid the nukes.
Yep.
What is the reaction from the community that you see when you do take those comments, that feedback, and actually put it in the game? What's it like seeing the reaction to those from the community?
I think it's great. It's the type of feedback that we kind of get over time, right? Because it's not so much taking a specific thing like I want a neon green wig or something like that. It's looking at, hey, I'm looking for more things to do at the end of the game. I want more challenging experiences. So as those features kind of come out further down the road, we see that positivity from players reflected back at us through comments and feedback.
That's really cool. I mean, yeah, I love some character creator options as well. So maybe a neon green wig would be great, but that can wait as well. We've got plenty to do in Skyline Valley at the moment as well. And with that came the first new map expansion for the base game. Can you tell me what that means to you and the team and to the game itself about having that map expansion?
Absolutely. So I've been referring to it as a map mutation.
Nice.
Kind of keeping it within the vein of Fallout. But what I've come to learn over the years is that players really love to play on the Appalachia map. Appalachia in our game is really kind of the main character, and we were introduced to Appalachia when the game first came out, and it's really changed since then, and all the updates that we've had. So knowing that players really like to stay in Appalachia and experience that, we wanted to give them opportunities to continue telling their own stories. So using Skyline Valley as a reference, they have more places to build, more places to adventure, and also using Skyline Valley for a way to further the story of Appalachia itself, telling our own stories for the players to experience. So the idea for Skyline Valley came from Vault 63. It was really mysterious what was going on there. So we were thinking, what should this new region look like? Well, it's about Vault 63, and that's dark and mysterious. So let's make this region dark and mysterious. And so that's kind of where the tone of the new space came from and the thought behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the mission, the pre-update mission that you do, and you go to that massive big manor house and like literally just looks like hellfire everywhere around, and it is very much dark and mysterious, but also very fun to explore. What other things in Skyline Valley, what other game features were added with this new update, the latest one?
Game features added with Skyline, well, there's a new horrible creature walking around called the Thrasher, which is just awful.
Yeah.
this big turkey abomination, which is a lot of fun to see. We've also got a new boss in there that's triggered by nukes, the trifecta terror, the trio Storm Goliaths, which are really fun to fight. And they play off one another, which is kind of a new mechanic. You kill one, the other two get stronger. You kill one of them, and the last one gets really strong. So that's fun.
Yeah, that is fun and also terrifying. That's great. Yeah. And then also with Vault 63, we've got a whole bunch of ghouls in there too, which is fun. And speaking of ghouls, it would be fair to chat about the Fallout TV show and my favorite character, Walton Goggins, aka the Ghoul. So how are you enjoying the TV show, firstly? Have you enjoyed it?
Which viewing? I've watched this series about 4 times.
Heck yeah,
I love it. Great, awesome.
You can recite it already, probably, dreaming about it.
What I love most about the show is through the visuals, through the story, through the characters, how true to Fallout it was for people that maybe weren't familiar with Fallout before, or maybe had played other Fallouts in the past, watching the show, experiencing that story and wanting more. Where can they get it? Come to Fallout 76, come to Fallout 4, come to 3. So it's been great seeing that influx of players coming in, having fresh new Fallout experiences to them.
Yeah, that's such a good point. You're so right. I think I was a massive Fallout fan before the TV show, but again, just watching that and immediately feeling that same feeling that I had playing Fallout 4 when that first launched. I mean, I used to fall asleep, this is really sad, but I used to fall asleep listening to Diamond City radio at nighttime. But yeah, the TV show just encapsulates everything. You're so right. And with that success, how has that like been reflected in Fallout 76 as well? We've seen some, maybe some new jumpsuits added, vault suits. What other parts has influenced the game?
Sure. So with the show, we made very specific offerings that had specific ties to the show, like Lucy's backpack or the cowboy duster, which players really love, and they're very Fallout, thematic to Fallout. So it was great to add those. I would say, you know, from the reception the show has gotten, it's really sort of emboldened us to continue taking the game in the direction we have been. It's sort of fortified in our brains the decisions that we've been making that are, you know, very, very true to Fallout, and it's really got us pumped for what's coming up down the road.
Heck yeah. Can you tell me your favorite character?
From the show?
Yeah.
It's got to be Thaddeus.
How?
Why aren't I dead? Yeah, it's great. It's so funny.
Thaddeus is great.
Thaddeus is good. I like all the characters, but Thaddeus had me laughing, yeah.
Stunning. Now, we've mentioned a wee bit about Skyline Valley, but obviously we have Milepost Zero coming up very soon. What can players look forward to in this new update coming?
Milepost Zero is a really exciting update. Of course, we've got the caravans that we've been talking about that I was watching players play just back there, which was a lot of fun. Caravans is awesome. We've also got a new legendary crafting system, which gives players a lot more agency into making specific gear they want for their builds, gives them a bit more control. And we've got best builds, which is a great step forward for our builders and being able to connect them so they can share their builds in game much easier and show appreciation to one another. If you run across a best build camp that you like, you give it a thumbs up, and upvoted camps with most thumbs up get featured on multiple servers across Appalachia, so it's really cool.
That sounds sick. I'll definitely be challenging myself. I love games like Fallout, and then also in Elder Scrolls Online, and then I love building in The Sims as well. So yeah, definitely I'll be building and maybe taking some inspo from the rest of the community as well. That sounds awesome. Cool. I can't wait for that. Now, you mentioned as well you've seen some of the fans playing it here on the booth at Gamescom, and then also in the public test server just now. How have you found the reaction? Are people happy with it? Are you excited? Have you been taking notes as well?
It's great. You know, I think overall they're really excited. Again, it goes back to giving our players the tools and the agency to make their own stories in the game. So what better stories are you going to come up with than running the perilous route of Skyline Drive while being assaulted by giant thrasher turkeys and raiders, you know, doing caravans with your friends. It's just super cool.
Yeah. There's some many new adventures to look forward to. That's so sick. Now, can't wait for Milepost Zero, but John, is there anything else that you want to share with me today maybe?
Maybe there is. You know, we've talked about Milepost Zero quite a bit. Yes. Milepost Zero is awesome. We know that's coming out pretty soon, September 3rd. We've got Ghouls coming out early next year. What's in between? We've got an exciting update coming out this December. This December, players get to experience the Gleaming Depths.
Heck yeah.
Raids the Gleaming Depths. This is an end-game experience for our most hardcore adventurers, full of nasty bosses that are tough to take down, big challenges, teamwork. It's great. And once players get to the end of it, if they live to tell the tale, they get a chance at getting 4-star legendary weapons, power armor, and gear.
Sick. I love that exclusive. Let's go. Gleaming Depths. I cannot wait to try that out. I'll have a lot of grinding to do, but yeah, maybe the captain can come in and help me out, level my character up. Love that so much. John, I've got one more question that I'd love to know the answer for. Would you rather eat a fried rad roach or some glowing fungus stew?
So I'm not going to get into specifics, but I kind of already have a preference from past experience. I have had glowing rad roach before. I was at the show premiere. It was absolutely fantastic. I would never turn down the opportunity to have that again. So glowing rad roach.
Glowing rad roach.
Absolutely.
There we go. We heard it here. John, thank you so much for chatting with me, and thank you for joining us. Now, fans obviously won't have to wait long at all for the next Fallout 76 update. Milepost Zero launches September 3rd. Check out Xbox Game Pass to play Fallout 76, as well as a metric ton of other titles right now. Remember, with Xbox Game Pass, you can get new games on day one, like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th, play some of the biggest games of the year, and unlock partner benefits from our pals at Riot Games and EA Play. And if you're not already a Game Pass member, what are you doing? Join now and get your first month of PC Game Pass for $1 or €1. This offer won't last long, so act now. So coming up, we have the team from Towerborn stopping by to walk us through their latest gameplay demo. But first, it's the latest from Planet Coaster 2.
Then again.
When I walk outside with my head in the clouds, everywhere I go, I keep singing out. Good day. I'm gonna sing all my blues away. Everything's alright when I got you by my side. It's gonna be a good day. Good day.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director at Frontier Developments. I hope you enjoyed the trailer for Planet Coaster 2. I'm here to show you a bit more about the game. Let's dive in. Planet Coaster is a creative management simulation game where players can build their dream coaster park, manage that park, and then share their creations with others. In Planet Coaster 2, we have new water park features. We have deeper creativity, new management tools, and the possibility of building a park with a friend, one player at a time, by sharing a save. To celebrate our new water park features and new creative tools, we're going to be adding a new flume to this pool area of our park for our guests to enjoy. We're going to be doing that by going down to our flume section, and we're going to be adding a brand new flume. We have a number of different flumes or slides that you'll be able to build in the game, one of which will be our body flume, which is what we're going to place in our pool area. Before we build the flume itself, we're going to need to build a flume platform for our guests to enter the flume from. So we're going to build our platform, and then we have a number of different start pieces that our guests will use to enter the flume. We have our kind of standard open flume piece, as well as different special types of pieces. We have a flume vertical start piece for our guests to enjoy, which is a trapdoor piece where our guests will get in, and then the trapdoor will open up and they will drop through into the flume. As we're building our flumes, we can see that our test dummy is coming as well. It will follow the flume pieces as we're adding them, and then give us the excitement, fear, and nausea rating of our flume, and then give us feedback on whether this is going to be an enjoyable experience for our guests. And for this flume, we have a number of different flume pieces. We have open pieces and we have enclosed pieces. So we're going to add an enclosed piece to this flume. We also have different types of pieces, one of which is our transparent piece. So we're going to add a transparent piece to our flume so we can see our guests as they come down these flumes for them to enjoy. We also have a number of end pieces that you can put on your flume, including run-out lanes. But for the end of this body flume, I think we'll be adding one of our plug hole pieces, which is one of our special end pieces. So we're going to place that down, and now that's in place, we're going to edit the way that our flume looks. So we can go to our customization tab and change the different color options on our flumes. Flumes in real life have a very striking stripy pattern, and what we can do here is adjust the colors of each one of those segments on our flume. So we can change our flume special pieces and start pieces to be a nice green for our guests to enjoy. We can change the color of our second segment of our flume to be a complementary green. We can change this purple area to be yellow. And then finally change the last segment of this flume to be a nice black as well. At the moment, our flume does look good, but I think we can make it even better and more attractive for our guests by adding scenery to the platform around it. So let's add a few rubber rings to really make it thematic to the experience that our guests will be having as they enjoy this flume. Now that's in place, we need to add an entrance to our flume for our guests to get onto the platform. So we're going to add our flume stairpiece so that our guests can get up onto the platform and enjoy the flume. And there we go, our flume is finished and looking good and ready for our guests to enjoy. Flumes are one of the many amazing new attractions that you can build in Planet Coaster 2 that allow you to make a park that is truly unique and yours. If you like this video, Planet Coaster 2 is now available for wishlisting. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye.
Hello, I'm Mike Laidlaw, Chief Creative Officer at Yellow Brick Games, and welcome to the world of Eternal Strands, a new fantasy action-adventure game where the world around you is your weapon. In Eternal Strands, you will embark on your journey as a young, magic-wielding weaver named Bryn. She seeks to unravel the secrets of the Enclave, a once thriving center of magic now left in ruins. At your base camp, you'll forge bonds with members of your Weaver Band, who will support you in your expeditions with their various skills.
You've worked hard for this, and I have faith in you.
Select your next quest and customize your gear before venturing out through the Loom Gate on your way to discover the fate of these shattered lands. In the Enclave, you can climb and interact with nearly everything you see. The mantle, the magical cloak on your back, grants you control over frost, flame, and kinetic magic. Combine these elements in creative ways to manipulate the environment to your advantage and defeat your foes. But the Enclave's foes come in all sizes. Behold, an Ark. This colossal 25-meter construct wields immense power. Pick your battles. Rather than risking your loot, return to base camp. A day has passed. Reforge your gear with your hard-earned resources to even the odds against the mighty epics. No two battles are the same, as epics roam freely between maps, and extreme weather alters the battlefield in this true physics playground. Harvesting strands from these formidable adversaries allows you to weave new abilities into your mantle. With new powers at your command, and the world is your weapon, you hold the key to uncovering the mysteries of the Enclave. Take up the mantle in Eternal Strands.
You just got a deep dive into the gameplay of Eternal Strands and Look Avoid Train, which is coming to Game Pass early next year, so get ready. But first, it seems like only yesterday we were here at Gamescom enjoying the first Towerborn demo. Now, a year later, the game is nearly ready for prime time. Joining me now with more is Stoic CEO and President Tricia Scoffer, Game Director Daniel McLaren, and Co-Founder and Chief Creative Officer Arnie Jorgensen. So, how is everything going at Gamescom, Tricia?
It's fantastic. We're so excited to be back. The crowd has been exceptional, as always, and the booth's been full, and players are just enjoying themselves. A lot of excitement, a lot of smiles on their faces, and we're just happy to always have the game in the hands of the players.
Yeah, it's been amazing at Gamescom this year. So many people, but it's also been a huge week for you guys.
Indeed.
Tell me a bit more about it.
Absolutely. On Tuesday, we announced that we will be on early access on Steam on September 10th.
Yep.
And we're coming to game preview on Xbox and Windows PC in 2025.
So really not that far away as well.
19 days.
And I'm also so excited because we've got a demo that we're going to be playing. But McLaren, for those that haven't seen Towerborn yet, can you give us the elevator pitch? Why is this game going to be so much fun to play?
Yeah, so it's the quintessential side-scrolling brawler, which you see generally in like a smaller single-player, shorter experience game. We've decided, why not make this a bigger game? Why not put in sweet loot drops? Why not let your friends play together, collect cool stuff, and kill bigger enemies, and then brag about it? So that's basically what we built.
It's what we all love to do as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons I'm so excited to hop into this demo as well, because I got to play it here last year, and honestly, I love these type of games like World of Warcraft I brought up on, but going into Towerborn, I'm a little bit competitive, and we've also got 3 different characters on screen. So I think, Arnie, if you can kind of talk us through what each of us can do, the different abilities that we've got.
Sure. So everyone just kind of mess around on this first screen before we get too deep. But we're going to be going to early access with 4 different classes. Here we see the Shadow Striker. She's got dual daggers, and she can move about the screen really quickly and do high damage. Then we also have the Sentinel with the sword and shield. He can block, and he can also parry. So if done at the correct time, you raise your shield, bang, they become dizzy. And then we got the Pyro class here with the War Club. Big, slow, heavy damager that can fight through damage. So that's the 3 that we've got right here. We're not showing off the Rock Breakers, which, I'm sorry.
No,
that's not daggers. That's the Rock Breakers with the giant clubs.
I know, this is the thing.
What we're not showing is the dual daggers. That's right, the Shadow Striker. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited because I have seen Tricia use the fists before, right? And I was like, she was doing a lot of damage, so I was like, that's what I'm playing as. So I've also got is it an ombre above me? Is it
an umbra?
An umbra.
An umbra. So how does that work?
So the umbra is part of your loadout. We're going to be launching with about 9 different umbra and then adding them as we go through early access. But all the different umbra give you different abilities. Some could do damage, some could do healing. So we see 3 different umbra here today, and we'll see what they do.
Well, I'm quite excited. And how do I trigger? Is that with my right trigger?
That's with your right trigger. Now, if you press your right bumper, that's when you're going to do this massive damage punch.
Oh. Okay. So I don't want to use that. So that's the little thing on the bottom of the screen, isn't it, when you can kind of see the bar?
So the orange bar, if you look at your HUD up there, the orange bar, as that fills up, that will be your right bumper button. That's the special ability.
Okay.
The 3 little pips down at the bottom, when those turn blue, if you hold your left trigger and hit your light attack or your heavy attack, it will do 1 of 2 special abilities and consume 1 of those pips.
Okay, nice. All right, should we go forward to our first fight? Right, I'm kind of just...
Good luck, man.
All right, I'm going in first. It's not because I'm trying to do the most damage, I promise.
There's a lot of different things to remember for each class, but for now, just have fun playing. You'll learn the class over the hours of playtime.
And there's like combos, isn't there, that you can do? So you kind of want to set it up to do the most. And
that's right.
The little bar on the bottom. How do I get that to charge faster?
Just by hitting things, or by completing combos. By completing combos, it's going to fill up much faster, and that's your weapon meter.
How do I know my combos? Is it just like mixing up like fast and heavy attacks, or?
Yeah, it's a combination of using your light and your heavy. It's a 4-button combo system, so any combination of those 4 buttons will do different things. And if you hold down X, you can launch enemies into the air, get up there and do some aerials. Ooh, nice, coming in and stealing my kill, Benny. I appreciate that.
I would never do. I'm not a kill thief. I am just getting involved.
I am. I'm happy to.
That
happy to help that out.
I'm not sure that the people watching here know that there's a friendly rivalry going on right here. We're actually tracking damage done in this, so we can see if Benny can beat Trisha and McLaren.
I don't know what you're on about. Please.
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Oh no, I've just missed. I've just wasted my combo.
It's a no-lose, McLaren. If you win, you basically be a professional gamer.
Pretty much.
No.
That's the goal here.
I know you guys are running too far ahead, right? This is. Right, there we go. No, I'm good now. I've got my own enemy.
It's been my dream to beat a professional gamer. So.
Hey, can you not steal my damage, please? That's my damage.
Absolutely.
Oh, you just stopped him getting up.
Yes, sir.
If you hit him early enough, you can whack him pretty quickly. It's like whack-a-mole.
How you doing over there, Benny?
I think I'm doing good. I think I've done a lot of damage. I'm hitting my combos. Oh no, I've just missed. I keep wasting my Okay, no.
How you doing?
No, I feel like I'm falling behind.
Man, Trisha's got the best weapon with that spin to win. That's normally my weapon.
Trisha's actually playing McLaren's weapon.
I know, it's so irritating.
But Benny is playing Trisha's. Trisha's really good with the rock breaker.
Maybe you haven't seen my stats on all the weapons yet, but I played them all. Don't you worry.
All right, hold on. There's a couple more people over here. I'm determined.
Too slow.
Okay, wait. So right now, I'm actually quite low on health. I've taken a lot more damage.
Well, that's
Trisha's
okay.
taken none.
I've got you here. If you come up a bit, there's a healing shrine.
Oh, yes.
And that'll just get everybody refreshed. Because get ready.
So hold on one second.
Hold on. Let's wait a second.
But if you did die.
Right.
Yeah, so the way the death works in this game, when you die, your Umbra is going to come over and it's going to res you. But if you run out of lives, then it takes your teammates to res you, and it's oftentimes hard. If they take damage while doing it, then you're dead. But I want to talk really quickly. We've come into this mission for a reason. We're in this mission
Trisha.
because we got to beat Trisha. We heard that there was a boss in the area, so I think we're on its trail, and we'll see what happens here as we enter the next cave.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Are you McLaren, are you sure you're ready?
There we go.
Let's go.
Are you sure? All right.
Let's go.
All right, wait. No, you know where we're going.
There we are.
Oh, no. All right, there we go. No, there we go.
It's the Pango Jira. Now, if you notice, there's a break bar at the bottom of the screen right under the health bar of the boss. McLaren, tell us a little bit about that.
So it's a quintessential break bar. The minute you break it, it will stun the boss and allow you to go into a punish phase. And so, oh, geez, man, it's always those rocks, always in the face.
Pay attention.
I know. So now he's in a broken phase. So now you can just do all of your combos, do all of your damage.
Pummel him.
Yeah, this is where you really
Benny, this is where you get your damage.
This is where you get the numbers up.
I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Get your numbers
Right,
up.
there we go. I need to use my ombre.
Your ombre.
I love it.
I don't know why I'm
going
calling
to
it.
officially change it to ombre.
I don't know why I'm calling it an ombre.
I think I'm officially changing it to
think
ombre.
we're literally doing it. We just turned this game into an esport somehow.
All right, come on. I got no back. Wait, are you dead?
No, not even close.
It's a damage. Now, I do have to say, this boss has been wrecking people on the show floor.
Yeah, it's been pretty great.
But we've got some people here that have played this game before.
Yeah.
That might be making it look a little easy.
Oh my god, there's so many rocks getting thrown at my head.
Right.
Right, here we go. Right, I need to
messed
time
that
as
up.
well.
Boink. All right, there we go.
No, I've just wasted. No.
This is the type of fight, as you would expect in any game like this, that if you beat a boss, you're going to get wicked good gear. You're going to get great weapon drops, aspect drops, which are gems or mods that you can slot into your equipment. But this is the type of fight that you want to go into and get or beat, because this is where you get the good stuff.
Yep.
Oh, I've just done, by the way, I've just done so much for us there.
Did you really?
I've just taken out like 10 ads.
Well, we're
Benny's carrying the team. He's carrying the team.
Yeah, he really is.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I've taken the boss down to quarter life.
What I found though is I apparently only get 1 damage for every single one of these kills. So I'm just putting it out there that I'm being a team player.
I see.
Yeah.
And it's not because I think I'm behind on the damage curve.
Oh, gee, I rolled right into it too.
Get good.
I think I know better. Look at that. First death, who does that belong to? I know how to play this game, I promise, folks. I'm working on it.
All right, here we go.
There it is, unload.
There we go. We got him. We got him.
Go, 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 go. On this phase.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, let's go. All right, now the moment of truth.
I don't think we need to take a look at the damage.
I think we do.
I don't think you know what we're basing this off? Eliminations. Let me know, like in the chat, if we should base it off eliminations or not.
F in chat for Benny.
I don't want to look at my stats.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I don't want to look.
Damage dealt.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's going on?
12,000.
Let's go. That's okay, Benny. You can play again later.
Can we like? Oh, come on,
correct?
I know there's something wrong. I defeated way more than 9 enemies.
Did you though?
I swear I did.
Did you though?
Well, that's
They played the game once or twice. But you know, hold on a second. So this right here is the combat that we're showing here on the show floor, and we're just pushing right now the combat of Towerborn. I think is really something special. But the whole game is an RPG. There's a huge map that you move out onto, and you explore tile by tile, just like this, and you uncover through the fog of war different areas of bosses, loot chests, ventures, which are our version of dungeons. There's a ton to explore in this RPG, and then you go back to the tower and you get your missions. You go to the forge. What is this saying for Towerborn?
Yes, that's right. I totally blanked.
Hold on a second.
I was like, you're the one that told me. Yep.
I was basking in my success, and I just wasn't listening to anything except that I beat Benny, a pro gamer.
The saying of Towerborn is,
by the way,
I want to explore the world, and I want to be strong enough to do it.
Next time, I'm going to get some practice in, and I will beat you.
It's right there on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'll be there a week. That's what I'm going to be.
We'll do it. You guys join in Zoom, play a game.
That's
we'll,
right.
We'll show it on the site.
Yeah, we'll do it. But one thing I have to say is we're seeing more games go into early access. Why was it so important and specifically to go into Steam for you, Trisha?
Yeah. Absolutely. Getting the game into players' hands is super important to us. We want to have that the discussion with the community, have them be a part of the game building. It's what Stoic has always done from our very first game. And so getting there, being able to have that and have the input and take it in. Steam just happens to do that well for us, and we want to make sure we're fully prepared for when we come to game preview next year and have an expansive players, the number of players coming in. We're truly ready for them. We don't want to disappoint.
Honestly, it's been some of the most fun I've had. I've really enjoyed playing it, and I can't wait to go and sit there and then beat you. It will happen. I'm excited for next time.
Anytime, any place.
I don't doubt it.
But thanks so much for stopping by. But remember to wishlist right now at towerborn.com if you want to go and have a go yourself. Now, if that chat has you hyped for Towerborn, then you'll love what the team has in store. Check out a taste of a new dev diary coming soon.
Towerborn is an action RPG online multiplayer game.
We're going to support for many years. It's a living world. Steam Early Access is a great vehicle for us to get started.
My greatest joy in this is going to be sitting here a year from now going, I had no idea that this would go in this direction.
And now it's time to say goodbye, but only until tomorrow. And what a day tomorrow will bring.
So you got to make sure you join us when we kick off our final day of coverage with one of the most anticipated titles of the year. It's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. We'll also jump into the world of Metaphor ReFantasio, a fantasy RPG from the minds behind Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. Plus, the team from Thunder Lotus will stop by to help us all survive God's judgment in 33 Immortals. And Lena, we're going to give you a rare look at Avowed.
Yes! So thanks for watching and auf Wiedersehen. Bye!